What's up?
Yo.
It's Joe Beezy and we're back in the cave. I'm here with Francis, Jermaine, and Andrew bring you the Cave Podcast. Before we begin, make sure you check out the website, cave.com. That's K4V3.com. Check us out. And now we got Neek back in the cave. What's up, Neek? Welcome back to the podcast. How you doing?
Doing good. Super excited to be here. Super excited to be back. So thank you again for having me on.
Yeah, our pleasure. And, we started the podcast kind of abruptly because we were already catching up and I wanted to save it too for the podcast. So Francis and Neek have a mutual friend that that Neek tattooed. Mm-hmm. And we were making jokes about how when she tattoos people, it's like it opens up a web or a network of other Filipinos that we already know. And hey, I think we're all cousins, right? If you trace it back.
Oh, probably.
For damn.
Yeah, I look at the last name. I'm like, I wonder if I'm related to them or something. There's been a few times.
So always a half degree of separation.
Someone always knows one of my cousins. Yeah, someone always knows one of my cousins somehow. Mm-hmm. Like even me and Jermaine.
Yeah, definitely.
Like my best friend is your wife's cousin, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Your
had no
best
idea.
friend is your wife's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't be talking my shit on this podcast. I'm talking my shit. Remember what happened last time? I was talking my shit.
You always gotta talk your shit, man.
Yeah, we got in trouble for that.
Talk that talk, man.
Hey, can we just talk about how Jarrell's totally in the Filipino spirit with his costume?
Oh, you noticed, bro.
I didn't even.
Mabuhay.
I got the sun out.
Mabuhay. Always repping. I gotta get one of those cave shirts, man.
Oh, you got it.
We're actually
gonna get that set up after the show, so we got you.
Thanks.
I wanted to ask. I was planning on getting Mabuhay tatted on me. How many Mabuhay tats have you done?
That would actually be my only one.
Oh, really?
How many sons have you tattooed on?
I was about to ask that.
How many sons? Oh gosh, I don't know. Too many to count.
High double digits.
It's
triple digits.
Maybe not high double digits, but like enough that I would have lost count.
I believe.
I think that tattoo is part of the.
Who here has a son?
I do.
I got one.
I think that's the Filipino Pride starter pack.
Yeah, bro. What is that? That's 3 out of 5 of us.
Actually, no. The starter pack is when you see a car with the sun sticker always on it. Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, I know you.
Whatever.
They graduate to a tattoo or they got a Jollibee sticker. I've seen a lot of Jollibee stickers on cars now and license plate frames. I was like, I kind of want that. Just says chicken joy.
Well, I feel like since people sometimes question if I'm Filipino, so I gotta have like Filipino tattoos just to get that question out of the way,
Yo, that's why I got mine like straight up on my sleeve because I had patience tatted on me, but I had it, in an African language because it was based on a song called "Patience" by Nas and Damian Marley, and they're sing Sabali.
Great soundtrack.
So I had Sabali on my arm, but in Arabic, but in English. In an English word, but in Arabic font. So it was really fucking confusing, you know what I mean? And I already don't obviously look like Filipino. So they look at the tattoo, they look at me like, what the fuck are you?
You so double translated
I'm gonna just go straight up tribal, whatever.
Yeah, you double translated the word.
Yeah.
Then you have to
exactly
extra explain why you have that tattoo.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I should have thought this out. And plus in Arabic, you read from like right to left, right? So
oh wow.
I don't even know what kind of words or spells. I learned that I just avoid words altogether on my body. But I do kind of want to get Mabuhay tatted.
Yeah, we can do that, man.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready. Truly should sponsor me, by the way.
This podcast brought to you by
Sponsor the podcast.
and Michelob Ultra.
And Michelob Ultra.
What a
No one's
sponsor.
drinking Sarsi right now.
I wish.
Sarsi or fucking Red Horse and shit.
Pop cola. You guys remember that shit?
Well, my grandma's restaurant in Chino, they have Red Horse. So, oh yeah, we were talking about this. That was what got us in trouble
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm gonna stay quiet about Red Horse now.
Wait, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the TikTok thing or what?
Yeah.
Oh man.
It started with us talking about Red Horse.
Yeah. And
It's just part of the game. That shit's funny. I feel like that's growth. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
they got eyes on
And
our
that's when
shit.
you know you've made
whether-
it. Yeah.
Yeah. They were watching our shit regardless of how mad she was. I'm like, whatever.
Exactly.
yeah, I mean,
exactly.
you reach a network of titas and fucking ates that hate you, bro.
Filipinos are the most
Them-
hating
them-
ass people too, you know.
Hate.
So I'm not surprised. They could be hating. Like if there's a thing I've been kind of reading about on like these groups about how in the Philippines, if you're Filipino American, the Filipinos don't even like consider you Filipino. It's like a
That's
thing.
fine.
But they love Tagalog Kurt on YouTube, who's this white guy. I don't know, have you heard of this guy? This guy's just this white cowboy guy speaking Tagalog, and the Filipinos love him. But if you're Filipino American, it's a fuck you.
I have.
weird.
Yeah, dude, I heard about that. And then I saw some responses to that too. So, I mean, okay, the gist of what I got from it, right, is what you were saying, where the Filipinos in the Philippines are like talking shit, saying that we're not Filipino enough. Like somebody like
Yeah,
me,
we're
born here in the States, claiming that I'm Filipino, would be like, oh, you're not really Filipino, or you can't fluently speak Tagalog or whatever. But I saw there were some rebuttals to that, saying that was some bullshit, you know, like we're
Yeah.
all Filipino. So, I mean, it does kind of hurt my feelings a little bit when I hear that from Filipinos in the Philippines. I'm like, damn, dude, you know, we want to connect with something because we don't fully connect with the culture over here all the time. So it sucks that it's hard to connect with both sides, right? Like you're kind of caught in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, this struggle is obviously different. Like it's in the Philippines, it's either like high class or really lower class, you know. So over here, the struggle is more like assimilating with. Am I Asian? Am I Hispanic? You know what I mean? Am I a Pacific Islander? Like, what do I
I'm
group up with? Like, what do I tell these people and normalize as, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's different, but you feel that really obviously when you're, well, I mean, for me, when I'm fucking getting food at like fucking Island Pacific, you know what I mean? Those Filipinos, dude, those Filipino chicks, they don't give a fuck, man. Especially if you don't look Filipino, you know, they just,
Right.
they look through you, you know what I mean? They don't look at you.
Yeah. I guess it depends though, because like if you're mestiza looking, right, they like that. Like if you're light skin and you look like you're mixed with Spanish blood, it's like, oh, okay, you know, like it's why they like Tagalog Kurt, because he's white and he can speak Tagalog.
Cringe
You know?
fucking videos.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't wanna watch
I
Hispanic
definitely
Togo.
enjoy his videos, but like,
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of a double standard, right? If they're gonna, like you said, if they're gonna praise Tagalog Kurt, but then talk shit about, you know, people like me, born and raised in the States, who can't necessarily speak fluently. Like that's some bullshit. And I think again, because I don't, people always don't automatically recognize me as like Filipino. I leaned into Filipino culture even more to kind of compensate for that. And so then to like still feel that little bit of rejection of like, you're not Filipino enough. It sucks. Hey, and you know what? It's not even just Filipinos from the Philippines, right? It's like, there's Filipinos from LA that are like, oh, you know, you grew up around white people. You're not really Filipino or whatever.
You know what? If you really think about it, I'll be honest. I feel like it's true even for us. You know, if we had a Filipino on this podcast panel who was like blonde and, you know, had a really like American accent when they spoke Tagalog, like we would make fun of them. Like this fool ain't Filipino, this fool's just acting. So
That's fair.
I feel like
That's fair.
it's kind of hidden as a playful, you know what I mean, social bid for attention, kind of, you know what I mean. But
Right.
there's some dissing undertones too. I feel like so.
Yeah,
It's out there.
But you were in the Philippines not too long ago, so what was your experience like? I'm sure you didn't experience anything like that, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I think for a woman it's different, right? If you're light skinned
is
and
true.
you look mestiza, like, you know, they're wow, you know. Wow, you're so mestiza. Which it's like, of course, you know, they're saying it in a positive way, but to me, hearing it my whole life and wanting to look more Filipino and wanting to identify more as Filipino, it does bother me, but you know, I'm not all twisted inside about it anymore, so it is what it is.
Because I mean, I used to live in the Philippines, and I came there from here. I was like, what, 10 years old, and all the kids were pretty welcoming of me and embracing me, like inviting me in, and I kind of like. So I've never really understood, is this a new thing going on now? Because when I was there, people were like, oh, you're from America? And like they were just happy to talk to me. So I don't know if this is like a new thing going on, or is it just the next level to the crab mentality or something like that, you know?
Well, it's so weird, right? Because there's this thing where they're talking about Filipinos that aren't Filipino enough, but then when you look like Filipino, they still talk shit about that, you know?
Yeah.
So
You can't win.
you
Yeah.
can't win.
That's why I
yeah.
said our people are some hating ass.
Hating
people.
It'd be our
like,
own
what?
people sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's
I mean, I
true.
could be wrong. Maybe there's other races that do that too, but I don't. I think it's just us because I don't know.
I mean,
weird.
you'd say, I feel like people would say black on black crime. Black people hate on each other. Hispanics hate on each other too. I think it's within the people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's always that.
Yeah.
I think it's human nature just to be a hater.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even within like, aside from within your own race, like Americans hate on Americans. I mean, I'm guilty of
Yeah.
it, so
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I
We're
hate
all the
America.
same, you know. Just hate on
I don't like Americans too.
you're gonna be on a
yeah,
TikTok.
you know, like we
Yeah.
talk,
I'm gonna
we talk
get
shit about like Florida or something, you know. Everybody talks shit about Florida,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
so everybody, there's always going to be something in, you know.
There, people
within
talk
a
shit on
group of
California
people, but-
too. It's everything.
Dude, a lot of people talk shit
Oh,
on
yeah.
fucking Huntington Beach. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
Oh man.
it just
I'm one of
fractalizes
those people.
internally and smaller. But shout out
It's true,
to
it's
Huntington
true.
Beach.
Just
I
depending
heard
on
they,
where you're at.
they banned the mask mandate over there recently. So
And the vaccine.
Oh,
mandate.
really?
America,
Yeah.
the vaccine. I don't know about the
What?
vaccine. I don't think anyone's banned the vaccine mandate, but a lot
That's
of
what I read.
states
Yeah, that's
are
why I read for
banning
Can
Huntington
they-
Beach.
the mask mandate. So
If it's a federal
shout out to
mandate,
them.
can they do that?
Federal can't interfere with state law.
Like since
I learned that from government.
yeah.
Hey,
But then
I didn't know
also
what to say, so
federal
I heard
law
it from
trumps
you.
state law.
Who put that in the
We're gonna
law?
have to
Tito
confirm
Ortiz?
this because I feel like federal law will still trump state law. Even yeah, no, I'm 100% sure that would make no sense if federal law didn't trump state law, right?
let's see.
I mean,
How would we live as a society if federal law didn't trump state law? I don't know. We're gonna have to look this up because I'm curious now.
So I see that it's banned in Arizona too. The mask mandate's banned in Arizona.
The mask or the vaccine?
Not the vaccine. I think that's why there hasn't been a vaccine or a ban on the vaccine mandate, because that one's kind of tricky. You know what I mean? But the mask mandate, I feel like they're able to ban, so they're doing what they can right now. But there's a paywall for that site, so I ain't really trying to fucking pay that shit.
Right.
But I don't know. I heard it's coming back.
Nah, it's not coming back.
You don't think so?
No one's gonna take that.
I won't go there,
No.
man.
There's,
No way.
I mean, Well, they said that it's going to be like the flu, where every year during flu season there's going to be another wave of another variant, which just like I don't know. That's what I heard. So if you guys were like, let's say if you're trying to go to the Philippines, and if you go to the Philippines, you have to show your vaccination card to prove that you got vaccinated. Would you guys do it just to be able to travel?
God damn it.
Sure. If I can find it.
Well, I mean, I have the first two just because I thought it was a good idea at the
Because
time.
I know some people
I
that
ain't getting no
won't.
booster though. Yeah, if they need me to get a booster, then fuck that.
Yeah,
You got what? The first
Mm.
shot of the Pfizer and the second shot of the Pfizer?
I
or
got
what?
what did I get?
I got both.
I got Moderna, the 2 Modernas, and then I did more research. I was like, man, fuck all these boosters. This is bullshit.
Yeah, dude. I got
That's
2
me, my
Pfizers.
son, and I still got COVID.
Yeah. I got 2 Pfizers and I got COVID 3 times and I'm still here. So, but people are like, that's because the vaccine did its job. Maybe it did. I don't know, but I'm here.
What did you get, Andrew?
The Pfizer vaccine.
I think I got Pfizer too. I have my vaccination card in my wallet, so
That's like
I
the
could
biggest
check.
flex
But
before,
I mean,
right?
because I
Ooh,
know
got
some
my
people that
shit.
wouldn't travel just because they have to get the vaccine. But then I was thinking, I'm like, damn, dude, you don't want to go to Europe and like Japan. What if you want to go see all these places? Are you gonna let that stop you? But
In the bigger picture, though, if you can like zoom out, that's them
it's a
kind
little
of jangling.
Poppy, you guys keep
privileges.
refreshing on my.
Yeah.
Johnson and Johnson. They make you feel like it's all safe because, like, they make baby powder.
Hey man,
Safe.
you trust us?
I took it because it was one shot, bro. You know what I mean? Like I
One
don't wanna take
shot's all
fucking
it
2
takes.
shots, so. I just wanted that one shot, and they pull that shit, and then
Oh, damn.
all right, come back.
Well,
So as I was saying, space is fake and gay, guys.
oh my god,
I feel like that podcast was a growing experience for us, man. How
I'm
do you
fucking
did you listen to
traumatized.
that podcast back, Francis? How do you feel about that?
Dog, I was just laughing the whole time.
But the fact that he had his date, I didn't mind that. But the fact that he was kind of talking in between it, I'm like, dude, just mute your mic. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Be professional.
It's like he wasn't even paying attention and he just come back in and just start talking his shit.
Just ranting.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That shit's funny. But going back to whether I would take the vaccine just to travel, I feel like at this point I'd probably try to Photoshop or pay for someone to get me a little pass.
I mean, but
know what I'm saying?
you got the shot already though, so I don't understand like
Yeah, but I hear that you might need a new one for this new strain, depending or not if we get a season 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I heard
like
it's
most-
not a booster; it's a whole new one because it takes longer to come up with the booster. Is kind of what I'm hearing from the people.
I guess I'm just doing a cross country road trip moving forward until the shit mellows out.
I honestly feel like most places are gonna be like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know, because the businesses are fed up with the laws because so many businesses went out, lost their, everything just because of these stupid mandates. Now we're back and people are getting back on their feet, and now they're hearing this shit. I don't think people aren't going to take this easy anymore. And like the more that the truth has been coming out since, I feel like you have a lot more people who are going to oppose this, and people are going to start to see like, oh, maybe we have some power over this if we can keep pushing like this. Who knows?
For sure. Yeah, that's what I said. I feel like it's going to be harder to run the same game. I don't think the lines for the vaccines will be as long. You know what I mean? I feel like the pushback for people to be like, sir, can you put a mask on, is going to be harder, you know?
That's okay.
So it's going to be interesting moving forward. But shit, yo, I know you guys will fucking take it.
If I have to, if it's the law.
I mean, for us, our work had to make us do it, or we had to shut down our business.
Danny's the only fucking. I think Danny's the only pure blood in Cave right now.
I saw his. Like, I went to a show with that guy, and he had his fake little card. I was like, "Ooh, where'd you get that?" He's like, "I just
don't out him, bro."
I mean, what thing?
I should, yeah,
Danny Smith, right? Danny Smith.
yeah. No, but okay, so this shit's not a secret name. I actually held it. I was like, dude, it's like the same shit. It's like someone who makes the cards or whatever just started slinging them on the side. It's like, here's some blank ones.
If America is not as strict about like the vaccines and stuff, traveling to other countries being strict, then in order to get in, there's really like nothing we can do to not comply with it. So then we're just kind of going to restrict ourselves. But I don't know. I hear people's concerns about worrying about the side effects.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I guess I'm wondering, is it the concern about the side effects, or is it the concern about being told to do something?
I think it's both. You got people who just don't want to take it, and you got people who are legitimately afraid of the side effects. And I think there's people that's also in between. Is like, no, I don't like being told what to do, and I don't know what's in that.
I listened to a podcast with fucking Robert Kennedy, and he was talking about like the vaccines that
Robert Kennedy for president, baby.
Hey, which I hear he's kind of struggling right now. He just tweeted something about the DNC was going to rig Biden. So, I predicted that Biden was going to win it all, bro, because the shit's all scripted.
No, we gotta do something to get Robert Kennedy in the office, man.
But no, Robert Kennedy was talking about vaccines, and he said like, you need a hepatitis shot as a kid, and it's like, why does a kid need hepatitis when kid's not really going to be sexually active or be exposed to like dirty needles and all that? You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, certain hepatitis you can get exposed to through like, let's say there's somebody's bleeding, and if you touch it and it's on your skin, you can contract hepatitis that way too. So because that's something that we have to worry about with tattooing. So that could be a part of it as well.
Yeah, that's fine, because like when you get a hepatitis vaccine, you're never going to get hepatitis, but when you get a COVID quote unquote vaccine, there's still a possibility you get COVID. So that's just my gripe. Like, I've taken every vaccine. I'm fine with chickenpox vaccine and all that shit, because I never got chickenpox. I never got hepatitis, but I took the vaccine for COVID and I got it twice. So it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, same thing with the flu, right? Like you take the flu vaccine, you still could get the flu, but it just wasn't bad. But I know that I know that I've heard the concern as well that because it was made so fast, that's another thing that people are concerned about, right? But the thing is that the technology for the vaccine was already in development, and I guess they just tweaked it specifically for COVID.
Yeah, which is cool. Like, I have my first 2 shots, so let me just chill with my first 2 shots and call it a day.
Yeah, right. 100%.
Like, I got one.
I mean, I don't get the flu vaccine every year.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I actually stopped taking it every year too.
I think I'm fine.
Been feeling like weird throbbing on the site, so I'm like, I don't want to really take this all the time. You know what I mean? I feel like the vaccine's good enough to take it bi-yearly. So the booster wasn't even fucking bi-yearly. It wasn't even fucking. It wasn't even.
It was like every 3 months.
Every 3 months. It was like a monthly subscription type shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that was kind of the thing. And I hear that this new strain of COVID is hitting the vaccinated more than it is the unvaccinated. So it's kind of interesting.
We've been set up.
You've been hosed.
Maybe it's because it's developed resistance. It could be. Yeah, it could be. It could be it mutated to develop a resistance to whatever the vaccine was, which is kind of. I mean, that's how various.
Yeah.
My thing is, I respect the fact that people are hesitant to take the vaccine, and I respect the fact that people believe in the vaccine. So I think that the vaccine should be available, but I don't think it should be mandated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I.
So like, and there shouldn't be no like public pushback if you choose either or, which I think it is right now, because it's not even just the unvaccinated demonizing the vaccinated and the vaccinated. It's also the vaccinated demonizing the unvaccinated. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of being, because there's a population, like I said, like us, where like me, where I took it, but now I'm kind of hesitant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know who's on the other side of that who didn't take it. And it's like, damn, I wish I took that shit. You know what I mean?
I bet you it's a very small percentage of people that think like that. I feel like a lot of people are like, damn, I'm glad I didn't take that shit. The majority of them are not regretting that.
Yeah.
Except maybe the one that passed away from COVID.
Maybe. Because then they're going to have that thought, you know, it's like, what if I got the vaccine? What if? It sucks because it really is a big what if you don't, and what if you do?
Yeah.
Damned if you don't, damned if you do, really. So
that's why I took 2 and then fucking leave me alone.
I took my 2 and I was like, all right, cool, that's it. And they're like, you need boosters. And like, I remember I got mine done at Target. They're like, hey, you need to get your booster. I was like, yeah, I'll come. I never came through. I'm not coming through for that.
Trust.
Scary.
It's like what's true and what's not, you know?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, actually, do you guys use Twitter?
Different Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah.
You guys like Twitter's fact checker on there?
Yeah, I like that the community does that now.
You don't use it's X. I'm
X.
still saying Twitter, but
What's Twitter?
it's not there as fast as it should be. I don't think it's not there consistently. But do you have to activate it to get it on there, or what? Like tag fact checker or what?
No, I think I don't know what it is, but I think most people can, if you feel like there's you can correct it with facts. You can't. I don't know what the option is, but he pretty much opened that if you know that this is bullshit, pretty much anyone can contribute to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather that than just not showing the content at all. You know what I mean? It is kind of skewed because I do follow some like flat Earth accounts and shit, and they'll post some fucking compelling ass videos, and there's a fact checker thing on there, and it's like that shit ruined it. But I mean, I'd rather know that way than it just being shadow banned at all. But speaking of Twitter, just to get off topic and shit. You guys hear what's going on with fucking Logan Paul's girl and Dylan Dennis?
That shit's weird, man.
Shit's crazy, huh?
Nah, I haven't. I'm not paying attention to that shit. That's for sheep, Jarrell. Shit. Sheep, bro.
I don't even follow those guys, but I don't know why it's on my feed on Twitter.
Yeah. Actually, tweeted that Dylan guy. I don't know.
I've scrolled onto it just to see what's going on, but apparently this Dylan guy, Dylan Anus, whatever his name is leaking pictures of Logan Paul's wife, like doing fucking other dudes and just being a hoe. And I'm like, oh,
every day, bro. Every day.
Was that before they were married, or
like
was that
every day?
Yeah, before they were married. Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know why this is on my feed. I have no interest.
Well, so this is the thing. Logan Paul and Dylan Dennis are supposed to be boxing.
Yeah.
So the build-up, Dylan Dennis is just posting pictures of Logan Paul's fiance with hella dudes. And I guess he has this one picture he's about to put out that could get the fight canceled because Logan Paul already threatened that if he puts that picture out, then he's going to stop the fight. But he's been kind of playing around it. He's shooting videos where he's showing other people, you know what I mean? And like people go, oh no, you can't fucking show that shit. But what do you guys think about that? Is that fair game to do? I mean, to talk shit, or is that kind of off limits and low blow style?
That's low blow shit.
That's low.
You think so?
I mean, I get it. The entertainment is there, but just how much he's dragging this is like,
oh shit, the aliens.
That's what I was about to say. You heard it here first on the Cave Podcast.
They're saying fuck Logan Paul.
I shouldn't have said space. Said space is fake and gay.
Yeah, we got to get an alien on this podcast.
Man. Oh yeah, it's just
Well, how would you guys feel if you were fucking Logan Paul?
If I was fucking Logan Paul, I don't know. I don't want to fuck him.
Pause, bro.
Man,
You said if you were fucking Logan Paul. I don't want to fuck that guy. What the fuck?
How would you feel if you were fucking Logan?
That's why I was like, I don't want to
I would
fuck
just be
that guy.
chilling out there.
All right, girl, pause, man.
Why am I fucking Logan Paul? First of all, is he giving me that Charizard card? Because maybe.
You got to just fucking stay poker face. I feel like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Logan
First
Paul,
of all, okay. This is the question, I guess. Does body count matter? I guess. Does history matter prior?
yes,
You think so?
yes.
Okay,
But I mean, if he married
elaborate.
her, I think if he married her, he kind of is cool with it. Obviously, there's been a conversation about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
his body count, like threshold, is different from my body count.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
You think there's a double standard?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
We're talking about body counts. You think there's a double standard though? You think like the body count of
Yeah.
a guy matters?
No,
Absolutely.
it never does.
Absolutely, there's a double standard.
Mhm.
I agree too. There's a song by Absol called "Double Standards" that talks about that. So
I mean,
Yeah.
it kinda,
Standards
I think it's really stupid. I don't know. This whole argument, and this might be really like vulgar, but they say that men think that if you fuck like 50 different dudes, your vagina is loose. But if you fuck the same guy 50 times, it's the same thing. You know, that doesn't make any sense to me.
yeah, that's a good point.
That just gave me an image I didn't want to imagine in my head.
Hey, it's better than
I mean, it's
fucking
the
Logan
same
Paul,
thing.
bro. So
Yeah, no,
let it marinate.
Oh man. No, but
Yeah.
like Francis was saying, I agree with that maybe Logan Paul's like, I don't care you slept with 200 dudes. I love you. If he doesn't care, I don't whatever, dude. I'm not gonna fuck like different like Francis has like everyone has their own threshold, I guess, whatever. But
Yeah, to each
I
his
also
own.
don't yeah, or unless if she was just running trains every week, you know, then it's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Oh, the train
Yeah.
schedule already.
Yeah, when does Amtrak come through? She's on your phone.
It's all preference
Amtrak.
too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you know, girls don't always appreciate a guy that's fucked 100 bitches. So
Mhm.
it's all preference, but definitely more towards women. If you have more than 5 bodies, you're a hoe.
right,
Something like that.
right.
Damn, for real?
I heard it was 10
been
now.
My experience
Mhm.
is like, I guess 10. If you're in the double digits, you're a hoe. But
You're right.
I
It's
don't
like
know.
that. It's like that Chris Rock stand up. I think Andrew can quote me on that. He's like, "Don't ever ask how many bodies you had because you don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to
What
know."
J. Cole say? You got to multiply by 3.
Yeah, you got to multiply by
Yeah.
3. But Chris Rock's like, "Why? Why you asking? You don't want to know."
No matter what you say, it's too much for you.
I had one. That's too much.
Well, I mean, that's the thing too. Is if she never tells you, you'll never fucking know. So what's the difference, right?
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
So.
What's the difference if she fucked 20 dudes and you never know?
Yeah,
Right.
What's-
he's still
yeah.
choosing you at the end. So who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
If
see
you're
why.
attractive enough to fuck, get your fuck on.
Yeah, right. That's what I was
the thing
about
is,
to-
some
yeah.
guys would prefer, like, you know, someone who's dominant and is more experienced to take
A
the lead.
seasoned
too.
veteran.
So it is
Seasoned
preference
veteran.
too. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that guy, you know, gets with a virgin, and it's like virgins aren't really like all the hype because they just kind of lay there. You know what I mean?
Just fucking
Would rather be
starfish
with
it.
like a cougar type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
true.
preference.
There's some people that date like 60-year-olds and they must have however
Money.
many bodies.
Money.
They must have
They
many,
got
I was
a
gonna say however
big
many
old
bodies.
bank
but
account.
yeah, I don't know. Because I have friends that are girls that are fairly liberal with their sexuality, right? And kind of sometimes people ask me like, oh, like how do you feel hanging out with somebody like that or somebody that dresses like that in public? And I'm like, well, she's not fucking my man, so who cares, you know?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like, whatever, if that's what makes her happy, if she wants to go to sex parties and have orgies, who the fuck am I to judge?
Facts.
I mean, I feel like it's also encouraged now by the media and like music and stuff. It's funny because I was catching up with a friend and, you know, we were talking about like, what kind of music do you listen to now? And honestly, like, I just listen to fucking like Native American flute music and shit because, like,
Wow.
I came into this. I came into this realization that, you know, rap music and a lot of music that we listen to, they're just kind of mantras programming like certain thoughts and behaviors and beliefs in us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of skews your goals and your personal vision and kind of aligns your goals and your vision with whatever the song's trying to influence you as. You know what I mean?
No,
And right now, everything's towards like hypersexuality, you know, so it's also encouraged. So I don't think it's like a natural thing because I was going to say, I do feel like everyone should have a phase where they explore their sexuality. I mean, if you're lucky enough, that's with a partner in a relationship. But some people, you know, they get their experience every other way. But I feel like it's easy to get lost in just because it's preyed on and it's what's circulating around the media and in our environment too, you know. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like I haven't been really listening to hip hop as much versus like the old school '90s and early 2000s. I've been listening to like just more like house music, just instrumentals. Like it's still like a party, but like there's no
good
like
vibes.
good vibes. So I definitely. It's not no Native American flute.
Hey man,
I can see Jarrell though. Like your personality, you're just like lines and fighting, but then you got Native American flute music.
No, you know what's embarrassing, bro? I'll pull up to the light and I'll forget that I have flute music on and shit. So my windows will be down, like guys will look over at me, and I'll just fucking roll my windows up.
Hey, Jerry's about to pull up in an Escalade, windows down, Native American flute music bumping.
If I could, I'd pull up in a flying carpet, bro.
I'm looking like John Redcorn.
I mean, I think it's a pendulum, you know? It always swings back and forth between being hypersexual and being super conservative. And I also think that every generation thinks that the next generation is just wild. You know, people from the fucking 30s were looking at people from the 50s and thinking like, oh my God, these like, horrible sluts showing their ankles or whatever, you know?
God damn, these women showing their ankles, tempting me.
Elvis Presley was like making parents go crazy. Like, why is that guy gyrating his hips like that?
Ultimately it's up to the parents to let the kids know or let their next generation know that, hey, this is here and this is out there and this is not really according to what our morals are, and you know, but that hypersexuality is it's already there. It's always going to be there. Every generation is just going to keep pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, it's funny because you go to the beach now and the average bikini.
Oh my God!
And like
there are ass cheeks.
The OG bikinis, and they're like,
dude, I don't.
Why even wear anything?
I know. I don't know how they do it. I have like tried one of those bathing suits on. I'm just like, there's too much breeze. Like I feel very bare right now. If you wear a sweater, you look like the sweater that's long and all of it's showing is your bottom. You look like you're not wearing anything. You look like you're just walking around naked. That's a bit much for sure.
Yeah,
I felt air in places I've never felt before.
I mean, they look good. I'm not gonna lie, dude. They fucking look good. So
definitely,
yeah. It is a bit much though.
Since you're a woman, Neek, did you ever experience like double standard situations from your parents growing up as a Filipino? Is there anything like? I mean, yeah, go for it.
On my mom's side, I'm the only child, so not really over there because there's nobody to fucking compare it to. But on my dad's side, I have 2 sisters and I have a brother, and I would say yes, but not in that way where like I think the usual way is that the boys get to do whatever and then the girls are very strict with. I think the difference was that my brother, they were much harder on him than they were on the girls because he's the only boy. It's like, okay, you have to carry everything. You have to make sure that you're working hard or whatever, you know. So that's the difference that I noticed. It wasn't necessarily being more strict because my youngest sister, they kind of just fucking let her do whatever because she's the baby. So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't really apply to her, I guess.
Okay. I'm just curious because like growing up, I also had, Filipino friends that were girls, and their conversations with their parents when they're out are much different from the conversations that I had with my parents, like when I'm out. So I'm just curious because like, even I have a younger sister too. So my mom was always like, make sure your sister is at home, blah, blah, blah. Like, but when I was going out, I just sent a quick text to my mom, like, hey, I'm here with Jarizi. I'll be back at 2 a.m. She's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, as I stayed primarily with my mom, so grew up mostly as an only child, but she was always really, really strict.
I see.
So sometimes I wonder how she would have been if I had an older brother or something. But I feel like she probably would have been just as strict. She's a little crazy. So, but she was very strict. I wasn't allowed to say the word stupid when I was younger. We called it the ST word. I wasn't allowed to say gun. That one was pretty wild.
Wow.
I couldn't paint my nails when I was little, so sometimes I would try to sneak it, and I would paint just my thumb nail. I would wake up in the middle of the night, and she was removing it with nail polish remover.
Okay.
Or I tried to paint my toenails, and I was wearing socks so that she wouldn't see it. So finally, she made me take off my socks because she was suspicious. That's why I was wearing socks.
That's what we're trying for.
Take off your socks now.
Let me see it.
Let me see your feet.
Let me see your feet now.
Yeah, so she was really strict. Yeah, when I was growing up.
Well, how does she feel about you being a tattoo artist now? I mean, that's, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Did she see that coming?
She kind of freaked out at first when I told her I was going to be an apprentice. She got really upset. She's like, why are you doing this to me? And then I'm like, I'm not doing anything to you, but so she was really upset. But I think it wasn't until I opened up my shop that she finally was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's for real now.
Yeah, she actually said, I'm proud of you.
Nice.
I think it was like on a Facebook or Instagram post though. So
nice.
And for
face to face it's not how that went.
And for viewers watching this in Asian cultures, to hear your parents tell you they're proud of you is a very rare thing. So Nick accomplished a very very
it's a badge
thing.
Of honor. You got knighted, low key. I did it.
It was my birthday recently, and she said that God sent her a wingless angel. I was like, who the fuck is this?
A wingless angel.
I was like, stop flexing for your white friends. Stop it. This is not you. No, it was sweet though.
How long have you had your tattoo shop?
It's been it's gonna be 2 years in November.
Nice. How's that been being an entrepreneur? I used to be an entrepreneur myself. So you know Johnny, right? You tattooed Johnny and Chasey. I used to be Johnny's business partner at Lobsterdamus before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay, that's
It may not look like it, but he did. Shout out to Danny.
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, I can empathize with the growing pains of being an entrepreneur. So I just would like to hear like your stories of some hurdles that you had to jump over, some bumps in the road to get to where you are today. Because 2 years is a big accomplishment. Sometimes businesses don't make it past 1 year or 6 months. So congrats on that.
Thank you. It's definitely, it's definitely been a challenge. It's been super rewarding at the same time. When people always say like the first year is the hardest, right? But in my personal experience, it was the second year. It's our second year that has been much harder, just because a lot unexpected challenges have come up. You know, my business partner got injured and he wasn't able to tattoo, so you know, it kind of basically fell. Most of the responsibilities fell on my shoulders, and then. We had basically in the beginning it was just me, my business partner, and our apprentice. And then our apprentice, she ended up leaving for financial reasons and stuff. And then so trying to bounce back from that, thinking like, oh shit, what are we gonna do? But we ended up fully staffing the place. You know, we have 4 artists now, which is great. You know, it's nice. It's nice having a full house, but it's nice having the bills paid primarily. So. That's a plus.
That's all that matters sometimes.
I think it's important to note that it is that second year that's kind of the hardest, because the first year sometimes can just zoom by, right? Because sometimes it's fun, it's all new, so you're kind of just in the moment experiencing it. And if it's a good year, there's kind of that pressure of like, do I just treat this second year as a new year, or do I try to improve from last year? You know, do I want to set the bar that high? So, yeah, I feel like the second year is the hardest, low key, or maybe even the third year. But how did you handle the second year? Kind of, did you take it as a challenge to one up the first year? Or did you just kind of take it as a new slate?
Definitely as a challenge to one up the first year. You know, I looked over at what our gross revenue is, and I'm like, all right, we could do better than that. And I think every year from my first year or then onto the next year and onto the next one, it's always going to be like that. Something that really helped through the second year is this mentality of like, whenever we were, you know, having difficult times or struggling, it was never an option of like, shit, okay, what's our plan B? You know, it was, I'm going to make this work no matter what. Like, we're not going to lose the shop. We're not going to, you know, give up or anything. Just how do we make it work? And I think that's super important, like in business. My grandma always told me, if you know, whenever I'm stressing out, she'd always tell me, she's like, don't worry, baby, it will work out. God will always provide. It's okay.
Shout out Lola with the facts, with the gems.
Always know what to say.
And it's true, because she's been in business her whole life, right? So I really look up to her as a businesswoman. And no matter what, she's always has this positive attitude and this grit, this determination of, I'm just going to make it work no matter what.
Awesome.
Yeah, that burn the boats type of mentality kind of forces you to, even if you're in a corner or you're in the verge of giving up, it gives you no option to quit. So it forces you to get creative or see things from a different angle, to come up with a different way. So it's good. It's good.
Exactly. I grew up around a lot of strong females and strong businesswomen. And I am so grateful and happy that I did, because I've definitely learned a lot from them. It's helped a lot. Just, I think the biggest thing was the mentality and the attitude towards challenges that come up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to all your titas.
Yeah. all my mom, my grandma, everybody. Like,
what kind of businesses did your grandma and your mom own?
So my grandma on my dad's side, she opened up. She had a boutique back in the Philippines, and then also when she came out here, she opened up a medical coding school.
Oh, nice.
She's had that for over 27 years now, and then she also has her restaurant, right? My mom has mostly worked in corporate, but she did start a side business. It's called what is it? Itty bitty. I think it's itty bitty soft play, and it's just it's like cushioned playground that people rent out for parties for like babies.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
business, actually, I've heard of it.
Yeah. So she does that on the side. My great grandma on my mom's side, though, she kind of like built an empire back in the Philippines. She started out with she had all her kids and they didn't have enough eggs to feed the kids, so she bought a chicken. And then they had extra eggs, so then she started selling it to the neighbors, and then she made, with that money she bought more chickens, and then eventually she had a whole farm, and she was supplying meat and all that stuff to different companies, and then from there she bought trucks so she could be the not just the supplier but the distributor. And so at one point she was a really, really successful businesswoman. They actually wrote an article about her in some book or paper or something.
That's pretty inspiring.
Yeah,
that's like straight hustler. Yeah.
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 And my grandma on my dad's side, you know, when she was the first one to come out here from the Philippines. And when she came here, she didn't really have like too much money, right? She had to come and make money so she could petition my grandpa and then my dad and like the rest of the kids. So she started out working in a jewelry store selling jewelry, and then from there she was telling me, she's like, I didn't have enough money to go on the toll roads. I had just coins, and one time I dropped the coins while I was there. I had to pick it up and count it because that was all I had and stuff. So they like, and so that's the thing too, is whenever I think like something's challenging, I think back to our parents that were immigrants and came out here and did really well for themselves, and I think like, damn, if they could do it, you know, we can fucking do it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We bitch about the shit that's nothing compared to them, you know. I get it sometimes when our parents are like, "Stop being a little bitch." Like they don't say that, but they look at you like that, and you know, they say it in their own way. But it's just honestly. Yeah, like we think we have it so rough, but they had a way. They gave up their life in the Philippines, came here to try to start a life for us, build whatever it is that they have now to provide for us, and we're over here complaining about what?
Hey, to be fair, cost of living was way cheaper back then.
It was. It definitely was. It definitely was. Yeah,
that's fair. I think maybe what they talk shit about is like maybe that we're not as
driven
head
as
down.
them.
Yeah, head down, get shit done. And I think that's a big part of why the older generation can't understand like the mental health crisis and everything of like, oh, why are you depressed? Just fucking do it. Oh, you have to heal yourself. At night, you'll heal yourself. Like, you know, they don't get it because they didn't have the time to deal with whatever emotional trauma they had. They had to raise kids and build a life.
I also think it's because at the time they had that mentality is like they have no choice but to do it. But I guess what they forgot is while they were doing this, they were trying to create a future for us where we could choose what we want to do. And we got so comfortable in the idea that we have so many options choosing what we want to do. I think that's what pisses off our parents. Like, you could be doing this, but you don't want to do that. You want to, like your mom, she probably had an issue with the tattoo in the beginning. He's like, well, there's no money in tattoo. And then you open your business, like, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Because, I mean, ultimately, they just want us to be successful and be able to support ourselves. And I think once they see that, then they're okay, right? I mean, my mom still, she'll like jokingly talk shit. She'll be like, you know, when I was your age,
it's not a joke. I'm sorry.
She'll be like, I had 2 degrees already, and I was working full time, and I would go to school full time. I was like, okay, well, I didn't get pregnant, so I win.
Damn.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
That's when you got to beat him with the chinelas right after that. Say that again, huh?
The English stops and then he switches to Tagalog.
I don't know why, but when your parents cuss at you in Tagalog, it's way scarier than because when my parents would say like "fuck," I just laugh like. My dad would look at me and say, "Putang ina mo." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Yeah, it's crazy.
I had a friend, his dad, he would get mad and he would try to cuss in English, but it would be out of context. So he'd just be like, okay, asshole. Sige, son of a bitch, motherfucker. And he's just like, what the fuck? He's just threading and fucking cuss words.
It's so weird because like when I was younger, my mom wouldn't wouldn't curse in English at all because again she was really strict, so I couldn't curse. So she didn't do it around me. But now that she's older, she fucking curses at me all the time. Like I'll say something to her and she's like, "Fuck you." I'm like, damn, dude.
That's all that pent up aggression from when she gave birth to you. She's like, "Yeah, motherfucker."
Dude, like I'll say something and she straight up is just like, "Shut the fuck up." Like,
God damn.
where did this come from?
I just asked how you were doing.
Exactly.
Damn.
Yeah, what happened at work?
But then I'll curse in front of her and she's like, "Watch your mouth."
It's crazy though, because going back to kids, like you obviously want your kids to be more set up for success and to have an easier life. But with that comes less struggle. And usually struggle is what teaches you the life lessons and kind of what makes you, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So in reality, like you're complaining about the cause and effect that you created. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we're in America now, Mom. I don't have to fucking take the jeepney. We got Ubers and shit.
Right.
Hey, you gotta even it out by beating your kids. There you go. You spoil them, you just gotta beat them, and they'll be all right.
Right. But isn't it funny where they're like they do this like Jerizi said that they did this so you can have an easier life, and then when they get pissed off at you, they're like, your life is so easy, huh? It's like, you did this for me.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mom, thank you. Can we just end it here?
Yeah, thanks. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to figure it out.
So true. That's so true. It makes me like. I mean, I have been thinking lately, right, about having kids because I just turned 28 and I'm getting to that age where should be having children. I'm a woman and you have a ticking time clock, or ticking biological clock. Mm-hmm. And that brings up the questions of like how do you want to raise your kids, right? Because how we were raised was considered physical abuse, but then also it's like, it's just some part. Obviously, don't beat your kids. Okay, just a disclaimer: don't beat your kids. I know I said it earlier, but it was a joke. Nobody beat their kids. But there's still, I see value in certain strategies that my mom had in raising me that maybe this new gentle parenting thing doesn't align with. So it's like, what's the right and wrong way to raise your kid? I don't know. I think about that sometimes.
Did you guys get hit as a kid? Did you guys get hit as a kid?
A couple of times, not too many times.
Yeah. Not too many
I was
times.
making look. I was getting hit as a kid, and my fucking parents tried this fucking kneel down, hands up shit. Like you just kneel down, you have your hands up, and they put books in your hands, kind of like this,
That's a
right?
good one. They don't.
And I was like, "What? Like, you ain't gonna hit me with the belt, and all I gotta do is this? Bet." You know? Like how long? Can you change the channel real quick? Shit, I'll do like this all day. You know what I mean?
No, my mom, she let me choose, right, what I was gonna get palo with. I could choose between the hanger, the slipper, and the belt. So I got a choice.
Yeah.
Damn.
You kids are so lucky.
Slippers for sure, dog.
I want you to choose how it's gonna hurt.
Slipper for sure. Got the slipper a couple of times. Never a belt though. I think they threatened the belt, and then I okay, shit, my bad.
Yeah, I got the belt thread a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, they would like loop it up and
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got that.
Yes.
Just walk his head.
And that wasn't enough to snap you out.
That's
of the
intimidating.
ditch, you were okay. I'm sorry.
Shit cracks.
Like a preview of what it's gonna sound like when you get it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess now that I'm getting to that age, it makes me think about that. But you guys are parents, so I mean, what do you guys think? What approach do you guys take, considering like, how we grew up, and then like what you would want to do the same and do differently?
I think what I got from my dad is giving my kids that dad stare in public. We're just like, I'm gonna beat your ass when you get home. But that's not what that death stare. You're like, oh shit, okay. And then I think the kids have started to get acclimated to it. So when they see that, like, fuck.
What do you channel when you do the death stare? Like, what are you channeling right now?
To be honest, that Samuel L. Jackson gif, he's just from that one movie where he's just staring at you, motherfuckerly.
That's funny.
I don't know. My kids too. So I don't really, not much I can do, except just like put her in time. I want to try to not. I want to see how far I can go without like spanking or any kind of physical thing. I want to try to see how far I can go with like timeouts. Like, well, if she does something that pisses me off, I just stick her in her crib for like 15 minutes. She calms down. Seems like it's working for now. So
yeah, she's still in a crib, So
wait till she starts climbing out of that shit. Now you're like, fuck.
How'd you get out of here?
Yeah, it's different with a father to a daughter compared to like a father to a son too. I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
What do you feel like the difference would be?
I feel like, I mean, for me, I've gotten full force hit by my dad, and there's one time where my mom hit me with a belt, but it didn't hurt, So I was just like,
sorry.
Obviously, like I was like, that didn't even.
You think
hurt,
child abuse is funny, Nick? You think is that what you're saying here?
No.
She's like,
I'm sorry.
It didn't hurt, so I was like, that didn't even hurt. But I fucked up by telling her that. She's like, what?
Oh, she's like,
she switched to the buckle side. I was like, oh no. So I learned from that day, like any fucking shit, you just gotta play like, oh shit.
I remember when I got older, like when my parents started hitting me still with the chanels, but it didn't hurt. I was just like, oh.
No, that's exactly what I would do.
You're staring to see if they bought it.
Yeah, because my mom, she would like use the slipper, but I could tell she's holding back because she don't really want to hurt me, but it's a scare tactic. So I'd be like, yeah, see, it hurts, huh? I'm like, but my mom's yelling was more scarier than that to me.
Yeah.
Just wonder when your parents yell at you, it's scary enough. And you get that beating. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so I think, I don't know, like, I don't think the full force happened. I mean, I don't know. Seeing my sister, I don't think my sister was as hard-headed as me, so she didn't trigger my parents as much as I did. So
she watched you go through it. Yeah. It's like, yep, not doing that.
Learn from my mistakes, but from my personal experience, I feel like, I mean, like I don't think my dad would ever like hit my sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like she'd let my mom handle it, or it'd be like you're grounded, or you know what I mean, type shit.
Yeah, no, 100%. Even with my little sister, it was my dad would kind of yell, but mainly my mom would handle it if she needed to get the ball up. But yeah, I got both mom and dad, but sister,
right?
Just my mom for sure.
I think the worst that I ever got from my dad was just like a really hard flick on the head, but also he's technically my stepdad, so I mean it's not really the same. Probably wasn't like allowed to hit me.
I'd do more if I was your real dad.
Yeah.
God damn it!
It hurt though. Shit hurt like right in my head. It fucking hurt. But yeah, no, I mean, it was mostly just my mom that was the disciplinarian. I remember there was one time that my stepdad stopped her because she was like raising her hand back to hit me. And he grabbed her. He's like, enough. And then after that, like, every time I get in trouble, I'd be like waiting for him to come and save me, and he never did. And I had a conversation with her about it, like I think within the past few years, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I told him never to do that again."
Oh no!
I was like,
"You're like, hey, that's your cue, bro."
But for me, I'm just glad.
Stand there.
No, I'm glad I developed the cool parent role, but it also sucks too because now when they're in trouble, they're like, "Dad, can you just tell mom?" I'm like, "No, you really fucked up today. I can't back that shit up. Come on."
My boyfriend too. I've been with him for 4 years, so sometimes we talk about how we would raise kids, and for him, he grew up with having no rules. No rules at all. They let him do whatever, but they were hard on him in different ways. And so I told him, I'm like, like you should have rules and guidelines that they can't be out past this time or whatever. And this fool's just like, no, like kids just gotta learn and blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, our kids are gonna be breaking arms and legs, jumping from fucking trees and shit. And you're gonna be like, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
God.
There's definitely a happy medium, like a balance of
That's what I'm saying.
gentle parenting and like the OG style of parenting. I think I think our kids can benefit. I don't have kids yet, but me and my fiance have talked about that. We definitely want to have a balance of gentle parenting and also like behind closed doors if they're fucking up, like fucking physical abuse or at least not physical abuse, but verbal abuse and like threatening like physical abuse. So right. Because
I feel you.
Yeah.
You need to set that not intimidation. You don't want to intimidate your kids, but you want them to also have.
So what are you saying?
Respect.
You guys make the bug and shit.
Oh yeah, like slam stuff.
You slam shit.
If we have to, I guess. But honestly, for me, the kids kind of just when I raise my voice, they start listening. So it's been easy. I really don't want to get to the point where I really have to do we don't want to get physical with the kids, but I'm like, hey, keep doing that shit. I'll do it. There's been plenty of those moments. I'm like, keep doing it.
Last resort shit, man.
Yeah, but for the most part, they've been easy and learning. But like Francis was saying, it's you gotta be firm on shit. That's just how I'm taking it. You can't be too lax. But being also the cool parent, as what they call me, like it also it sounds cool getting that title because I remember telling my girls like, haha, I'm the cool parent. But now it's just like now they think they could get shit by with me, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I told you to take out the dogs, and they took a shit in the house. No, it's cool. I'm gonna finish this round. No, so they get hard headed with me, and then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna call your mom.
Yeah, kids are smart, dude. If you think about it, their main purpose is just to figure out their parents. So they'll try to figure you out and see what they could get away with. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's funny as fuck.
I was fucked because it was just my mom, so there was nobody to go and ask.
There's no good cop. There's just one bad cop.
Yeah.
She goes to her stepdad or stepdad's like, I ain't your real daddy.
Yeah, if she says something, her word goes. So
right.
There wasn't much that I could really do if she said no about something. I could always tell how mad she was by how much of her lips disappeared. Right,
Dang.
So the madder she would get, the smaller her lips would get, and the bigger her eyes would get, and her nostrils.
Because she's sucking her lips in, making her eyes even bigger.
Yeah.
God damn.
It's like, wow, you want to breathe there? You're gonna pop a blood vessel.
No, and the cuss words are under the lips.
Yeah.
Fucking charging up and shit.
About to go Super Saiyan on your ass. You just even know it.
So I remember there would be times where she'd be like, I haven't bothered you in a while, huh? You better watch out. I haven't hit you in a while. You better watch out.
This last time I beat your ass.
I've been good, Mom. What you bringing this up for?
Mom, I'm 28. What the fuck?
But isn't interesting? That's one thing I want to say.
You guys are having dinner and shit.
In the Asian culture, it don't matter your fucking age. Your parents will, if they want to beat your ass, they're gonna beat your ass, and you can take it.
Oh, dude, I was fully an adult in my 20s. I'm still in my 20s, so my early 20s. Mm-hmm. And we were in the car, and we were laughing, we were joking, and snow, whatever, making jokes. And she said something. I was like, "Oh, haha, you're so stupid." And then just within a second, boom, backhand to the fucking face.
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
Yeah, she was like, "Don't ever fucking call me stupid again." I was like, "Dude, I was joking." She's like, "I don't fucking care."
Dang. She's like, motherfucker, what's up? Wait till the stoplight, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's funny. No, yeah, with my dad too, because I talk to him like I talk to my friends. So if he says something I think is dumb, I'm like, that's so dumb, that's stupid. But for me it's casual and it's joking. But to him, I'll look at him and he'll have this serious looks like, I know. Don't call me stupid. And she's like, damn, I was like, you fucking killed the vibe, bro. It was a bonding moment up until you took it seriously, bro.
We could have been cooler, and now
I don't want to talk to you no more. Fucking crazy. But I will say, being a kid that is a product of being hit and a product of taking away privileges, I was more damaged by taking away like my video games, or like you can't go out and shit. You know what I mean? I'll be fucking looking outside, crying like, man, why, bro?
I hated that. They knew that if I fucked up, they'd take away my PlayStation. I'm like, fuck, no, please, I'm sorry. You know, it didn't matter. Like they could take away I remember they threatened my Power Rangers toys. I was like, whatever. And then they took away the Super Nintendo, and I was crying about it. I was like, no, please, I'll be good at school.
I don't think like I was never really allowed to like go out anyways, and then so eventually I just gave up on asking to go out, and so there was no real there was no ability to take that away because it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess like the only thing that I really feared was just like her, spanking me or like throwing something at me or whatever. But I mean, it did work because I didn't do anything bad the whole time I was living in the house. The problem was as soon as I got out of the house and went to college, I just went fucking buck wild. Just did whatever I wanted. But the thing is, because of that, because I didn't go out and do anything in high school, I didn't know what my limits were. So drinking, the first time I drank was in college when I left the house, and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Like, why have I never done this? This is so fucking great.
This is real?
Yeah.
This is cool.
I was so stoked. And then, that turns into drinking problems.
Yeah, literally, right. And then fucking 5 years later, you're like, damn.
That statement did not age well.
It's funny though. But going back to, we were talking about mental health and the old school Filipino, about them not really having time to worry about it, like depression. If you tell your dad depression, be like, I know depression. You know what I mean? Like they don't even know what the fuck that is. I know mental health. That's not to say that they didn't have mental health issues. You know what I mean? Yeah. You kind of see like some imbalances and some trauma habits or habits that they've adapted based on trauma. You know what I mean? That they don't even know how to settle, which is kind of like, you could say that sometimes puts a barrier between them and their son or daughter. You know what I mean? They don't want them to get too close because they didn't really have a relationship with their father, Right. They were too busy working and shit too. So I feel like that's the problem right now, as far as like, we were talking about earlier about how Filipinos kind of hate on each other, but I feel like that's kind of a problem right now too with Filipino families. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy.
I think with that, like, it is kind of our job as the next generation to kind of understand that because they're older, they're not going to change. They're gonna, so you either accept it and laugh about it, like we do, or you are angry about it for the rest of your life.
Right. It's kind of like you have to learn that numbing characteristic from your parents, from them being so hard on you. You kind of learn to get that, to like numb yourself to shit. That's why they ask you like, oh, depression? What's that? I had depression and I still fucking got shit done, motherfucker. Like, there were times when I moved here with nothing. I didn't know where to sleep and I got shit done. Look where you're at now. And it's part of like the guilt trip too, like my hardship, I want you to feel it. It's like, I thought you did everything so I don't have to feel it. I don't get it.
It's true. I think like, when me and my mom, when she was so hard on me, there was a period of time that I resisted it so much and it angered me. I didn't understand why. And the second that I just accepted her for who she is and just kind of like laughed at all her really mean criticisms, like it became so much better. She'd be like, "Oh my God, you're so fat," and I'm just like, laugh, and it's all good, You're just like, oh, this again,
Yeah.
I don't know how healthy that is when I say that out loud, but yeah, so it's pretty much how I learned to deal with it.
Yeah.
I think that's how a lot of people learn how to deal with that. You know, they laugh at it, but really, it's kind of they're deep down. It hurts still. You're just like,
You just go home and cry.
and then you just sit there in the shower and you're thinking about, like, motherfucker, called me that.
That's true.
And it's, laughing is just a cool way to put it off, so they stop talking about it. That's why we do it.
I feel like
Yeah.
laughing kind of pads the realization of it. You know what I mean? Like
That's
it's
a
a way
good
to
one.
kind of digest it, to be like,
Yeah.
it's not so bad.
Yeah, and that's why when that drive home is going to be great fun, like just sad the whole time. Hey, you okay? Don't fucking talk to me right now.
That's a good point. It is a way to put it off,
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Mhm.
really good point. But yeah, that's true. I've driven home after that and been like, damn. She might be right.
Damn, I'm fucking up. I thought it was healthy, and then they told me I'm fat. What the fuck? Why are you so worried about your body? You have body image issues? No, I'm tired of my parents telling me. I don't want to have to laugh this shit off anymore.
Oh, it's just like incessant every time I go. So I had to make that choice. I had to make that choice of whether or not I was going to let it like continue upsetting me, or if I was just going to laugh about it. Like just that, like you said, it's a way to end the conversation, basically.
Mhm.
But it doesn't end it. It just shortens the conversation.
Yeah, because you can like, anyways, how you doing? Just transition it out of there, because I've been in a bunch of those conversations with my teachers, like, oh, you're so tabat now. I was like, I have kids.
I gave birth.
I have kids, and I have to eat their food when they don't want it anymore because it's a fucking waste of money.
And you're just like, you know how it is, right?
Yeah, Andrew knows what that is, and Francis, I'm sorry, one day that's gonna come. You're like, fuck, these little fuckers wanted this Happy Meal and then eat it. You're sitting there eating it.
I'm gonna let this Happy Meal go to waste.
Fuck.
I'm eating it all.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's
So-
funny.
That's free birth control for you. That little knowledge.
Yeah, I fucks with Happy Meals though. I ain't tripping on that.
Exactly. That's why it's so easy to fall in that trap. Like, ooh, it's
You're like, if I eat it, I keep the prize though.
Yeah.
yeah, and you're just like, it's 4 pieces. What's the harm in that? And next thing you know, next week is another 4 piece, and then now you got a belly. It's like, but yeah, I mean, it's just having kids will do that to you. But going back to what you were saying about, kind of laughing it off, and it's weird how Filipinos point that out, because they could be so passive aggressive with their compliments, right? Is it compliments, or are you trying to, give me some shade over here? It's weird because you can't read them sometimes. Like, wait, do I look good, or are you making fun of me?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if maybe it's just my family, but it's not like shielded by a compliment. They kind of just say it. They just be like, oh shit, what happened to your face?
Damn.
That's okay. I get the what happened to your hair.
Damn, straight up.
Yeah.
Rather that though than like that's one thing I respect. They'll just tell you in your face instead of like talk about it.
Yeah.
No, they'll still
I'd
talk
rather-
behind your back. Don't worry about it. They just letting you know they're talking about you. It's like, hey, me and your Tito boy said you're gay. Where did this come from?
Then the problem is like, me growing up thinking that it's okay to say those things to other people, and sometimes it still slips. Like my apprentice, one time she came in and I was like, damn dude, you look like shit today. She did not like that. She's not Filipino.
Not used to the culture.
Yeah, she wasn't happy about that. Oops.
Damn.
No, I remember too when I lived in New York for a little bit to start Lobsterdamus branch over there, and I was eating hella good pizza, Italian food, all that shit. And when I came back, I gained like 30 pounds, and my mom was like, straight up said, "Damn, you're getting a lot of weight. You're fat." I was like, "Don't be like your uncles," because I have uncles that are a little bit bigger too. So I was like, "Shit!" And I looked in the mirror, I was like, "Fuck!" I get rid of this shit.
I'm Tito Francis now.
Yeah, no one really told me anything when I was living in New York. I was just like living good. And I came back, and of course, my mom tells me. But you're right. In a way, it's like they're making fun of you, but they're also worried about you. They don't want you to get unhealthy. They want you to be healthy. So it was just that light under the match, or the light to get me back to eating healthy and working out again.
Right. But I think that if they were just like, hey, you know what, we need to talk. You're gaining weight. It's not healthy. I take that a lot better than, hey, you're fat.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, oh shit. Like if my mom came up just like, hey, you know what, you've been gaining a lot of weight. I think you should slow it down because I'm worried about you. I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
They wouldn't be Filipino though if they told you like that.
That's exactly right. But it's just maybe they think, oh, I'm gonna say it like that so they can learn. It's like, no, you can be nicer if you want. But like you said,
she literally explains it like that. She's like, I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to motivate you.
Uh-huh.
And I tell her, I'm like, but it makes me want to eat French fries. You say these things to me. I get to stress eat when we talk about these things.
I just want to drown my face in a tub of ice cream now.
The thing about that is they say that shit and then have like dank ass food, and they're saying that usually at a fucking potluck or like a dinner, like, damn, now I'm not hungry. What the fuck?
No, the funny part is like
over there and shit. Goddamn.
Yeah, they'll have those parties and then they'll make fun of how fat you are, and all of a sudden, here, come here, eat that. We give you more plates, and then they'll be like, "Ang lakas kumain." They're so excited.
They're fucking watching you eat, low key too.
Yeah, and they love it. They love that you're eating it. But it's like just 10 minutes ago, you said I was fat. Am I an amusement to you at the circus?
But my parents are really like healthy now, and so they do like the whole keto diet and work out all the time. So when we go over, they always have like relatively healthy food. But I'll sneak in like a Jimmy Dean sandwich when my mom's not in the room. I have to hide it because I don't want to have that conversation with her. But yeah, so I mean, like, I guess she follows through on it, right? She talks shit, but then she also like feeds me healthy food.
Okay.
But then if I like eat more, if I eat twice at her house, I go over on the weekends to do laundry. If I eat 2 times there, she's like, "Didn't you just eat? I thought you just ate. You shouldn't be eating that." Just like she raises my blood pressure.
Yeah. She's stressing you out.
Yeah.
She's raising her high blood pressure without even biting into lechon kawali. Speaking about food, what's y'all's favorite Filipino food?
Wait, hold up. Before we get to that, what cut is lechon kawali?
That's the belly, no?
Belly.
That's the belly?
Like the fattest.
Okay.
That part, dog.
Like
Crispy pata is the thigh, right?
Crispy pata is the thigh.
The foot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the hock.
Crispy pata is
The hock,
crispy pata
it's
is
the hock.
foot.
Yeah, the hock. So like in between the foot and like where
The knee, kind of.
yeah. Because I don't think it's the actual foot. At least
Well, but pata means foot.
I thought pata was thigh.
I thought foot was ba.
Yeah, baas.
But maybe,
I don't know, man.
I think it's just,
Regardless, it's good.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Shout out Crispy House.
Crispy House, baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say. They're
Also
seasick too.
Also known as Magic Walk for the
Magic Walk.
OGs.
Hey.
So that's what they're called now. Okay.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. they're
Hey,
called
we should
Crispy
make some
House.
Magic Walk shirts. That'd be dope.
Yeah, dude, that'd
OG
be
and
I can do
shit.
the design for you guys.
Bro, we gotta go. We gotta go
Oh, yeah,
get
that's
at
dope as
Crispy
fuck.
House. You know it's
Yeah.
good when there ain't no fucking sign. It doesn't even say Crispy House on the front. It's just like a door and like the letter B for the
Yeah,
grade.
bro, and it's the same dishes from
The
like the
letter B for the
90s still.
Yeah, the letter grade. Yeah, the same fucking plates from fucking 97, dog. I swear to God.
Seriously.
that's how they stay so rich.
Yo, honestly, like if you go there during Thanksgiving, there's a crazy line for the crispy
Bruh.
pata over there.
They-
So,
I love them, but they gotta figure their shit out, bro. Like you put in a pre-order, they don't make your order till you get there and pay. It's like, what the fuck's the point of the pre-order then?
Yeah, I think they're so fixated on their product and like their old school ways that they're kind of missing out on sales. But damn,
Oh, they're on Filipino time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. What can we do? Bahala na, you know?
Shit, I just started. I learned how to cook tocino and fucking longanisa. That's the only.
You're making your own tocino? You're making your own tocino? Like you're curing it?
No. I just bought it at a store and fucking made it.
Oh, motherfucker! You didn't make your own tocino.
So you made it sound like crafting his own sauce.
I know. I was like, putting it in brown sugar and like fucking.
Nah, not all that.
What do you learning how to make longanisa? So you learn how to make sausage? Like
I just
learn how to cook sausage.
It ain't that hard, food. You gotta boil it, then you fucking fry it. That's all it is.
Hey, I never done it before. So
I thought you got like a sausage maker. I thought you bring casein and then you're stuffing the sausage like with your own spices.
That's my first fucking Filipino meal that I provided. So
this is cooking sausage.
All right, man.
Hey, as far as favorite
congratulations.
Filipino food, I would say it's either the pork or the Filipino breakfast. You know what I mean? I feel like either corned beef, longanisa, or even fucking spam. And
those are
eggs.
staples, man.
Staples, yeah.
Hey, do you guys like your corned beef wet or like kind of fried, like super fried, like hard?
Good question, bro.
I like more towards the fried side, a little bit more crispier.
That's exactly how I like it. There's this brand that I like in the Philippines, and my family will bring it here. It's called Deli Mondo.
Oh yeah, I love Deli Mondo.
That's the best
Hold on, let me write
corned
that
beef
shit down.
ever. You need you need to get that, Jarrell. Jerezy, sorry.
ELI Mondo.
Yeah, Deli.
Gonna be like, I know how to make corned beef, motherfucker. You just took it out of the can and fried
I made
it.
corned beef last week, guys.
Deli Mondo's Deli Mondo's fire. They have all these different flavors, like regular spicy garlic. It's pretty fire.
Yeah,
But
we
for
always
me,
bring that back.
yeah, for my favorite Filipino food, I like sisig a lot, but I'm gonna just throw in Bicol Express. I like that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, Bicol Express is good.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that over
Bicol
rice.
Express.
It's hard to eat that without rice. It's
Yeah, how you carnivore ass motherfuckers doing Filipino food with no rice?
just ulam, no rice.
Yeah, like crispy
got a
pata.
big ass
just
bowl of
Let me get
adobo.
one order of that shit out.
Cauliflower rice. Or,
No, like my mom,
no
she made Bicol Express, and I had a bowl of just Bicol Express, and my mom's like, "Wow, this guy's really just eating ulam." I was like,
Yeah. I go to my dad's and fucking have breakfast, and it's just longanisa, tocino, and eggs, like no rice.
Damn, dog, that's crazy.
well, you know,
I miss the rice
people-
sometimes. Not gonna lie.
People were saying like, "Oh, don't eat rice because it's carbs," and I'm like, "Man, people in the Philippines eat rice all the time. Look, they're super skinny. It's all good."
Yeah, I know. You just
You
gotta
eat
work.
rice?
You just gotta work out. That's it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look at that.
I mean,
Well,
little-
even
The
some of them aren't
portioning
working
too.
out. Yeah, it's over here. Americans are just fat, man. It's just we overconsume.
Yeah, and the
here.
ingredients here is different too from like other countries.
And I feel like in the Philippines, the portions are smaller. So even though they're eating rice, it's not like a half plate of rice like that I used to eat when I was growing up.
Yeah, it's like
It was like
yeah, because they have
Very
to ration
true.
it, like they have to ration it for a family.
Mhm.
And I have a nephew who's here now, and he gets this plate of rice, and it's just a mound of rice on it. And I'm like, holy shit! He's like, well, in the Philippines, I could never eat this much rice, and you just a little bit of food on top. I was like, fuck, bro. Like,
Damn.
came here skinny, dude's getting huge now. I'm like, bro, that's all that rice, man. But I get it. Rice is good, especially with Filipino food because of sauce that comes with it. Like especially like Bicol Express, there's that the drippings, and you mix it in the rice, and it just brings it all together, right? But like Nick said, or Francis, the portioning. Really, we got to stop overeating because it's a lot of overconsumption here. And I think we're the only country that glorifies like huge versions of food. Like, here's a 12-foot burrito challenge.
Yeah, the food challenges and shit too.
It's like wild. And I think we're the only country that promotes shit like that, like gluttony, just straight gluttony.
Bro, every 4th of July, there's a hot dog eating contest. Like, what the fuck?
Kids in the Philippines are looking at them like, "Fuck you, dude."
Yeah, exactly. This motherfucker ate 80 hot dogs. I could have had 2.
Yeah. They're looking at like, shit, I'll end.
What you gonna do with the rest?
Yeah. Those kids are like, fuck it, I'll just enter, and they're just eating it. Like, I'm not trying to win, I'm just trying to eat.
Yeah.
They won already. They're still eating. eating.
You don't know hunger like we do.
They take home the baon for the rest of the family.
To go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna finish that? Back it up.
I think probably for favorite Filipino food, it's hard to choose, right? But I think Pickle Express is up there. Lechon kawali, liempo.
Liempo, hell yeah, I love liempo.
Shit, what else?
But gun to your head, you gotta choose one. What you going with?
What you picking, motherfucker?
You just gotta choose one. He's like, I won't shoot you, just choose one.
Kare kare.
Yeah, I'm a
Kare kare with bagoong right there.
Hell yeah.
Winner.
I don't like bagoong. I know. I'm not
You
really
missing out on
Filipino,
that.
but
It like brings it all together.
Yeah.
it's so strong.
It's really
It is.
strong.
It is very
Yeah.
pungent. You don't need too much though to like. You just
Yeah.
need a little teaspoon with like your whole bowl of kare kare to
Yeah.
make it work.
You guys like talangka?
Damka. Is that a?
The
Yeah,
orange
it's-
crab
yeah,
paste, I
whatever.
think.
Oh, yeah, that's just good.
Mhm.
That's just good with fucking
That's the crab fat,
lechon
right?
kawala, yeah.
Yeah, that's hella rich.
Or
though.
yempo or yempo.
Ooh, or like chicharon bulaklak. It's so
Yeah.
rich,
Oh,
but
I can't
like,
eat that,
it's
man.
good.
What is
so
that? That's just fat,
It's
right?
intestines.
Intestines.
It's
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Hey, that's good for us, Jermaine. That's organs.
Yeah, but it's fried in fucking
Super fat.
canola oil, super fried in
Ah.
that shit. That's bad for
Damn,
you.
no wonder I fucking felt inflamed after.
Yeah. So if we're to eat
It's
that,
like
we have
something's
to
not right.
It's
fry it in beef
gluten.
tallow, and then
It
it'll
is
be fine.
gluten.
That's drinking food. It's to absorb all the alcohol. I brought it to work one time, and my the place I was working at, my white coworker was like, "Dude, it smells like dog treats." I was like, "Basically, kind of is dog treats."
It kind of is. Wait, what's that mean, man? What you call it?
It's not dog, okay? It's just dog treats.
Chicharon bulaklak is fire though, but I remember the last time I had it, like my head just started getting lightheaded. I was like, bruh.
Your cholesterol just rising.
You know, I was massaging my head at the table like this. I was like, bro, I can't do this anymore.
It's that oil.
Straight to the
Feel
dome.
heart attack
Yeah.
come
You're
on.
just drinking
Yeah.
canola oil because you know when you bite into it, it's all juice.
fucking-
Comes out. It's just
yeah, it's super
canola
oil.
oil
It's
just
fire.
blowing up in your mouth, and it's not the fucking what's it called, the chicharon bulaklak that's clogging your shit. It's gonna be that canola oil. That's why.
Yeah.
That's where everyone's getting those headaches because my nephew, like we had the Filipino restaurant.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Every time they were frying that, my nephew would just be there, just grabbing. I was like, "Fuck, dude, you're gonna be alive by the end of the shift? 'Cause I'm gonna clean this shit myself."
Somebody gotta clean this shit.
Yeah, I was like, I ain't gonna clean the restroom, dog. That's your shift, man. But I was just amazed at how much he could eat, and then he'd be in his car like, I have a headache. I was like, you fucking thing.
Damn right, you get it.
I fucking told you.
Yeah, that's crazy. I never
you
thought
guys
about that.
tried I think it's like the A5 grade Wagyu beef?
Yeah.
It's like the highest grade of Wagyu.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so good, but it's
Yeah.
super rich.
So
You can't get
fatty.
that much of it.
It's fatty. Like the way I heard that the way they feed those cows is they hang them so they're not walking. So they're just
Oh,
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Wow.
they're just hanging so they eat a lot. That way they're not building any muscle. That way it's super fatty.
Oh,
I mean,
no
it's,
way.
it is
And
it's
they get
delicious.
massaged.
It's delicious, but goddamn, yeah, I can't have a ribeye like that. I just like thin slices, grilled like Japanese style.
my dad makes that sometimes. My
Mhm.
pops makes it sometimes,
Mhm.
and like it just ruins steak for me. Like I'll go to
Oh,
a
yeah.
nice ass steakhouse, and then
Mhm.
like this tastes like this is not good.
Yeah, I mean it's super marbly. So the grade on that, the real A5 from Japan, it's the highest grade you can probably get. So
Mhm.
it would, yeah. If I had that all the time, I'd probably have a high cholesterol too.
It's good,
Yeah.
but I like the balance of just a regular ribeye with like a perfect balance of fat and just
and muscle tissue, yeah.
I feel like that's perfect. Like I just recently started having ribeye caps, and those are
Dude, that's all
if you've
fat.
no, but like if you've never had, if you all you had was ribeye, I always used to think ribeye was like the best steak, but the ribeye cap is
Mhm.
it's like the king of steaks for me.
Okay.
But you know, I've had one where it wasn't so fatty. Like I've read people saying, yeah, it's high in fat, but I've had one where it was just a perfect balance, and there was
Mhm.
so much flavor in that. So
Yeah.
if anyone's trying to discover a new steak to try that. But you got to go like a butcher or something. Costco maybe has it.
Okay.
I just get a tri-tip.
Mhm.
Can't go wrong with tri-tip.
Yeah.
Right.
But
That's lean.
shit, as far as Filipino food, it's mostly pork and fish, huh?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some beef. There's beef
Caldereta.
steak, right? Beef steak.
Steak is bomb.
Tapa. Tapa's
Caldereta.
fucking dank.
Tapa's
Yeah,
bomb, but it gets boring because of how dry and tough it can be.
Yeah.
Because it's usually for breakfast. I usually have that for breakfast with
Not
garlic
in
rice.
fucking Island Pacific in fucking Irvine by Walmart.
Yeah.
Their tapa there is fucking different, dog.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, it's on some fucking Korean barbecue shit.
Damn. You gotta try that then.
Yeah.
But there's also mungo, which has
Oh,
beef in
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You have
Mhm.
mungo. You have your caldereta.
Mhm.
Your menudo has beef, right?
Yeah.
Or is it pork?
I think it's pork. I think menudo is
Is
pork.
it pork?
Yeah, pork.
You know, I still don't know the difference between menudo, caldereta, and afritada. It's all like the same to me.
Afritada is usually chicken, and
Okay.
and then menudo is more like minced pork. Well, not
Mhm.
minced, but like cut up pork.
And then caldereta is either beef or goat, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
there's caldereta kambing, which is
Mhm.
goat. We used to serve that at the restaurant, which is crazy. It was the first time I
Nice.
ever had that.
Nice.
But it's usually they kind of have the same flavor profiles really when you
Yeah.
eat them because you're like, oh, is this afritada? Like, no, it's menudo. It's like, is this caldereta? No, it's afritada. I was like, I don't fucking know.
You're like, I love caldereta. It's not even it.
I saw like a meme of the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other, but it's like caldereta and like afritada. I thought
It's
that was
hilarious. What's the most foreign Filipino food you guys have eaten?
balut for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hear there's
tried
this
it once.
place now that
Balut, yeah.
like that serves it by steps, and they fry the actual chick now. You know?
Oh
what I mean?
damn, interesting. I know what they're
it's
doing
like
now
more
too.
presentable.
Yeah, in
Isn't
the
that Manopo
Philippines-
doing?
Yeah, so Manopo, they're doing like a grilled version of it. So they put like cheese and like a chili sauce on it. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks good.
Mhm.
I was trying to.
I think
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Nick.
sorry.
No, you can.
The broth and the actual chicken is good. It's the white part that I don't like of the balut.
Mm-hmm.
But the broth itself is fine. It's just fucking like chicken broth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Mhm.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while though since I've eaten balut. But
Same.
have you guys had dog?
Nah.
I've
I
had
have not, but I've heard things about it.
Hey, I'll be real. Like, when I was in the Philippines, I was driving by one time and I saw them cooking dog. It was fucking brutal, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I've
Ugh.
I've heard a fucked up story about eating dog. Okay.
Mhm.
So my real dad, all right. I don't know if it's true because like I don't know, he's kind of crazy, so it's hard to tell sometimes. But so he said that he was telling me the story that they had the dog and the dog was like dying, so they buried him in the ground up until his neck. And then at night he was like crying, so they fed him like 2 bowls of hot rice. And then in the morning they came out, he's like almost dead already. And then they killed him, they like cut off his head.
Oh, man.
And then they unburied the dog or dug up the dog, right? So just the body, and it was cooked because it was in the ground. And then they opened the dog and they ate it, and they ate the rice that was inside the stomach.
What the fuck?
Oh, it didn't digest the rice. Okay.
That deserves a hey yo.
I mean, rice, dog. Damn.
Dude, so again, I don't know if it's true. That fool's kind of crazy. And then I asked him, I was like, where in the Philippines was this? He's like, no, this was in LA. I was like, what?
Dang. Damn. Some little kid looking for his dog. He's like, "Mommy, what the dog?" Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Yeah.
My dad used to tell me some crazy stories too, like when they used to circumcise kids in the Philippines. He said the doctor would smash the skin after it's done with a hammer on a piece of wood and then feed it to the ducks. I was like, what the fuck?
That's the Western. That's the cowboy style. We were talking about there's a 300 style, there's a cowboy style, and there's an Aztec warrior style. Jermaine's dad was an Aztec warrior where they did it between the rocks.
Yeah,
and you just jump into the lake.
So we talked about that on the first one with Neek, but since Francis wasn't there, so pretty much my dad was telling me a story of how he got circumcised. So in the Philippines, he said, because I was going to get circumcised, so you just kind of said this story to make me not be so scared about my shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
Simba, when I was circumcised.
No, honestly, right? But he told me that where he grew up, they would go to where I guess the forest, there would be a rock, and they would pull the foreskin out and stretch it out, right, to where it's cleared from the head, and they would just take a rock and just fucking strike at it to get a clean cut of it, and then they would throw them into the lake for the numbness, and then wrap guava leaves all over the penis. I was like,
I've heard guava leaves.
Fuck.
That's wild.
Because in the Philippines, they boys don't get circumcised until later on, right?
Yeah,
so
like a rite of passage.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you guys have heard of Brett Rockman.
Yes.
Bretman Rock?
Bretman Rock, yep.
Yeah.
Bretman Rock, yeah, there we go. I got it messed up. But Bretman Rock, right, he talks about his experience getting circumcised, and apparently they have different types of cuts that you can do.
They do.
Yeah. They make you pick on a catalog like it's a menu.
Yeah.
German cut.
It's like a barber shop with a different cuts on the
Bro.
You want a taper? You want a fade?
The fucking doctors looked at my dad. He's like, "What kind of cut?" And my dad's like, "German." I was like, "What the fuck? At least let me pick, dog." I had to wait.
And we hired new artists, right? And so we have a white guy, and we have this other Filipino guy from the Philippines a year ago. And so we were telling the white guy about how Filipinos, or people in the Philippines, they don't get circumcised until they're later in age, not when they're born, and how you're awake during the procedure. And he was what the fuck?
I was awake.
He just was really confused and mind blown.
My shit was kind of embarrassing because when my mom took me, she was in there with me because she just wanted to make sure. I was like, fuck. And then I don't know why my mom decided to bring her sister, my aunt, my tita Alice, with her. And then so she walks in. I'm like, fuck, are you serious? So they have my dick full exposed, and she's just looking at it. And my tita Alice saw when they cut the skin off. The head came out. She's like, "Ay, parang helmet." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
You had some commentary.
Yeah, I did.
The Gallic commentary.
Yeah. And my mom was just trying to comfort me. She's like, "It's okay. Look, we're almost done." And I was like, I didn't really feel shit. But when it started, he numbed it and he put the shot, and then he's like, "All right, we're gonna wait 15 minutes." So I'm just laying there, dick hanging out. I'm like, "All right." There's kind of "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, what the fuck?" My dick's just hanging out over here. Next thing you know, he's like, "All right, we're gonna start." And he's like, "Tell me if you feel this." And he pinches the shit out of it, the top, right? And I was like, "Yeah, I fucking felt that." He's like, "Oh shit, we'll give you another shot. We'll wait another 20 minutes." And now, you can imagine the anxiety that I was already building. I was like, "Dude, what the fuck? What if these shots don't work on me?" Damn. And I was talking to the doctor. He's like, "Yo, I don't think this shit's working." He's like, "Shut up." He's like, And my mom's like, "You're gonna be fine." And I'm just panicking, and I could feel the incision. I'm like, "Dude, this is fucking wild." Then in comes my aunt. I was like, "Get the fuck out." I had to wear a skirt for a week.
Yeah.
Shit's fucking. That shit felt like fucking Passion of the Christ, bro.
They put a mask over me, and I just passed out, and I woke up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
No, I was awake, man.
Lucky you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You probably had better insurance. Dude, yeah, I was like you, Jermaine. They fucking took the shots in, and towards the end of it, I was like, "Doc, I could fucking feel everything. Can you fucking just dose me up one more time?" So they shot another one, and dude, the shot fucking hurts too, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You literally just shoot the
first.
straight fucking right into the head. You know?
Oh my God.
It's fucking
guys-
Passion of the Christ.
You guys are lucky to not feel that. Because I know right when Jarrell did that, my dick just shriveled up right now. I was like, "Yep, I remember that. Core memory."
my artist, shout out to Mark, my Filipino artist. He was telling our white guy Brian about Brian was freaking out about oh my god, why would they do that to the boys? And he was like, no man, it's a rite of passage. People are stoked about it. The charities will come through. And it's free circumcision, and all the boys are lined up with their parents outside of the clinic, and there's a window, and people can look through the window and shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy.
It's shit. Pay-per-view outside. It's yeah. Filipinos, we like to make money off of anything, don't they?
Yeah.
It's like a pop-up.
Yeah.
Pop-up circumcisions coming down.
Come on down. Yeah, that's crazy.
Mobile circumcision services.
It's weird because it doesn't make sense. In my culture, there's a rite of passage for boys to be men. Just gotta get your foreskin cut off and you know what I'm saying? You won't understand though.
Oh man,
just our white guy was tripping out. Tripping out about that.
But then I asked as going through that and understanding the rite of passage, would you have your son go through it?
No, I paid for my kids right at birth. I was like, fuck it, just do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till that full.
It was free because after that,
that's what I told Mandy. What did Sam say about that?
Yeah, I haven't talked about that with Sam. She's here right now, so we'll talk about it later.
Would you do it, Sam? Would you wait 13?
Mandy was like, "That's abuse."
Would you want our son to get circumcised when he's born, or when he's 10 or 11? When he's born? Damn.
He can't harness the spiritual.
And that's when the fight started.
If he doesn't,
No, but yeah, I feel you. We had that conversation. Like, should we wait? Should we wait? And then, but I remember when you get to a certain age, it's a cosmetic thing, so you have to pay for it. So that's when I was like, "Fuck!" So just covered it right now, and you're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Do it right now."
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So when you get older, it's just a cosmetic thing. It's there's no medical reason why you need it because your dick functions just fine.
My mom and dad said they just didn't want to see me cry like crazy as a baby, going through that. Mm-hmm. So they're like,
they don't see you cry as an adult.
Yeah, it's when you're older, it's a little bit. I mean, I wasn't crying, bro. I was just
I was drugged the fuck out.
Yeah, I was drugged the fuck out. I woke up, I was like, this shit's sore, but all right, cool.
My parents bought me carne asada fries to make it feel better. I was like,
consolation.
Yeah, and I was just sitting there eating drugged out, and my mom's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Mom, you just fucking took me to the doctor and got my shit chopped off." Now I gotta wear this skirt.
Man, that shit was brutal, man. Shit was brutal. But yeah, I mean, like I said the last time we talked about this, after you get it done, you know what I mean? You look at the younger cousins, you're like, when's yours? It's coming up. Oh shit, bro.
Yeah, and remember in the Philippines, they would call you supot. That shit, and so that was the most embarrassing thing. They call you out in front. It's like, "Hoy, support!" Stop, man! What the fuck?
I'm getting my next month. God,
I'm waiting for my insurance to fucking cover it. I'm waiting.
Damn, crazy times. Terrifying times too. Like I said, when I was in that waiting room, they're like, "Okay, 2 hours." I fucking couldn't. I had my Game Boy, but I couldn't focus on the Game Boy, I was looking at the clock the whole time. Shit, this is about to happen in 2 hours.
And that was here in the States, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they had laser and everything, so shout out to technology. But
I got laser? I didn't get laser for shit.
I would have rather had a laughing gas to put me to sleep.
They didn't give you the guava leaves after you left?
I wish, because my shit felt weird after, and I couldn't even pee.
Just to cap this off, dude, the peeing was crazy, right?
Yeah. That's what hurt,
Yeah. I was having the Bellagio water shows in my bathroom.
Dog, I had to go to the bathroom, just in the bathtub, and take a shower when I needed to. I was like, dog, I'm not wiping this up every time, bro.
Yeah. I was like,
This is so
Oh no!
interesting.
Oh no! Hell no! Oh,
I remember, yeah. It felt like a pressure washer. Really, it's like, oh shit,
Damn.
the skin was
See,
holding
I
this
would
back.
never know these things, so this is so interesting to hear.
It
Yeah.
makes sense. They're like, damn, there's all the fucking shit they shot up. You know, I'm fucking leaking from everywhere.
Nick, if you have a son, would you have it when it's a circumcision when you're a baby, or like when he's much older, or would you even have him circumcised at all?
I don't know. So I honestly for sure would want to have them circumcised. In terms of when, it's probably something that like it depends on what my boyfriend would say, and most likely he's not Filipino, so most likely he's gonna say just do it at birth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've never gone through it, so I can't really say one way or the other. So I would assume that like my boyfriend would probably make that decision because he probably would have better insight on what my son would prefer.
Yeah, y'all get debuts. We get fucking doulas. And shit, you know what I mean? It ain't fair out here.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, for you, we'll have a party. For you? Oh, okay.
But it was crazy too. I brought this up with my artist when we were talking about it. Is that there are some places that do female circumcision, and that's gnarly.
What the fuck?
Wait, what the fuck is that?
What is that?
Yeah, that one's like super fucked up because it's more so of like a religious thing, and then also this because it's like this idea of like sex is bad, and so they'll just fully remove the clitoris.
What?
And which sucks. That fucking sucks, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they'll remove the clitoris, and then they'll sew up the vaginal opening, leaving. So it depends on like what kind you get. They'll sew up the vaginal opening until there's just a little hole just for the pee to come out, and sometimes they'll remove the labia too, the lips.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's fucked.
Imagine finding a girl like that. She's like, I'm a cybernetic organism.
Access denied.
Oh shit, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my god.
Jeez, that's wild. I've never heard of that shit.
What kind of culture? What cultures do that?
I
Philippines.
can't remember exactly.
Really?
I feel like it's Africa somewhere.
Yeah, I think.
Wow,
it's
that's racist,
Africa
Andrew.
somewhere.
Just
No,
kidding.
legitimately, I'm pretty sure that's where it was, but I know it's in countries that are like super religious. Or
I see.
I read this book called it's the title is Infidel, and
Oh my.
the woman was from, I forgot exactly where she's from. Oh my gosh. But she talks about that. So because she had to go through female circumcision. And it's like when you come of that age where you're supposed to have a husband, you have to have children, then you only have this small opening. So basically what they have to do is just fucking ram that shit in there and rip that shit open. It's like, yeah,
Well,
it's
that's fucked up.
crazy.
That's fucked up.
So
They're like, hey, you want to go
for
through
your
that?
guys'
Or?
circumcision, okay?
Yeah, like I'll get circumcised again. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm cool with circumcision.
Yeah. They're like, you got to go through that or do it again. Like, no, do it again. You want to cut it right now? Let's go.
I guess the appropriate term for it really would be like genital mutilation.
Yeah,
But
that's
they
exactly
call
what I was
it
That's what it
females.
sounds like
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Mhm. But they call it circumcision. So
Well, they're just trying to sugarcoat it. That's what I
Yeah.
wanna say.
Euphemism.
Skin coated.
it's
Ugh.
just like like the rest of it you could fix with cosmetic surgery, assuming you have the money for that. But you can never replace the clitoris. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do about that.
Absolutely.
There's a tattoo artist saying, I could tattoo a clitoris on there for you. You know how they tattoo
Freaking
nipples for like the,
George.
the breast cancer or whatever? I've seen that like a lot of tattoo
Oh
artists
yeah,
are doing
they
that
tattoo
now.
nipples on them.
It looks
Or like
crazy.
butterflies.
Like it's real. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. There's people that do that.
hmm
Yeah. I would be nervous to
Pretty
do that.
good.
What if I fuck up somebody's nipples, though? I've been having this conversation with my coworkers about like how much would somebody have to pay you to tattoo a dick, and yeah,
$1
I don't
million.
know. What would your guys' price be?
Fuck, dude.
Where would it be tattooed?
Yeah. What am I
Okay.
tattooing?
Oh.
Like where? On my face or like on my somewhere I can hide it?
No,
Not
you're gonna
tattooed.
tattoo
You're
someone.
Damn,
Get a
he's
tattoo
thinking
on
about
my
it.
dick. I'm
You're gonna
trying to
tattoo
get
it.
a good estimate here. I'm trying to get a good appraisal for this dick tattoo.
No.
Tattoo of a
You're
dick.
tattooing a dick. Not you're getting a
Oh,
tattoo.
tattoo on? Okay.
Yeah. Like not you getting a tattoo on a dick. You have to tattoo somebody else's dick.
Oh shit.
No, I'm good.
That means I gotta hold it, right?
Yeah. How
You
much
saying
is
they
somebody
pay me? How
else
much?
Because everything has a price, man. What's
Yeah.
your price tag?
How much do tattoos usually go for on somebody's?
Damn, you're actually scouting for average price, bro.
He's asking the
I would
logistics
like to
first.
get
Let's get the Kelly Blue Book.
Getting fair market value.
CarMax
price.
penis.
Let me optimize. Might
Yeah.
do it.
Yo, I tattoo a dot and then for like a milli.
See, but then like let's say somebody
Scammed.
comes in, right? And they show you 100,000 in cash.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different story.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
I
I'll
thought
do
about
it.
that too. I was like, damn, I'd only do it for $1 million. But I was
Dog.
like, shit. If I saw 100,000 in cash in front of me, I was like, I might just do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
100K. I'd be like, yo. So what's your occupation?
What do you want? Smurf? What do you want on your dick?
Stretching it. It's like, am I stretching this shit too hard? I get this detail right here. I want this to come out really nice for you. 100K is 100K, man.
And the other thing to consider too is that when you tattoo, the skin has to be stretched out, right?
Exactly. So you gotta yank his dick. So I'll yank that dick and
So it needs to be like up and at attention, right?
yeah,
So
100K.
that's like another thing. So my Filipino artist was saying that I had asked him this question, and I guess he said in the Philippines somebody came in and wanted their dick tattooed, and he said no, but another artist did it. So I asked, I was like, so
Oh
like
no.
it has to be up. You have to have a fucking boner to tattoo the dick. So he said, so what he did was he took a rubber band and wrapped it around put it around the base.
No way.
And then I'm not a man, so I don't know this, but apparently that's like a life hack. You know?
Interesting.
So,
Oh, okay. Huh. Like a
Yeah.
cock ring then.
yeah,
right?
I didn't
Don't they have,
realize
like,
that
cock rings
works
and
like
shit?
that.
Dicks
Yeah.
Hmm.
Purpose of those things, man.
Jermaine's about to buy an Amazon rubber band, like 100 rubber bands.
Hey, I'm waiting for that 100K. I just want to be sure I'm ready. When that day
100K.
comes, Francis, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna pull up in a new ass car. You're like, hey, I did it. Guess what,
Let's get a new
motherfucker?
car.
You got
I do
100
it
bands
again.
and 100 rubber bands.
Yeah.
When's that dick tattooing by?
I think honestly, I'd probably do it for like 10K.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I think I'd do it for 10K. 'Cause
You're
you
really
can
The
do
thing
that
is, you're
for
wearing
10,000.
gloves, you know? I feel like that really.
But like you gotta get close to it, dog. Like you gotta like
I mean, you could be like,
Gotta be like-
that. You know?
What what? Are you afraid you're gonna end up sucking it? I'm not gonna do that.
nah, bro. Like what?
Whoa.
All right, Nick. When you tattoo, are you really gonna be like this? Like
No, because you gotta see if that shit is packed.
Exactly.
You gotta be like,
Yeah.
like that.
I would tell him,
Yeah.
can you go wash that shit real quick at least?
Of course, we gotta pay me, right?
that's funny.
I'd ask for the deposit. We'd have to work something out after
Oh,
getting
they
the
need to-
deposit
they
to
need
see
to pay
Y'all
you.
gonna laugh at me, then we're gonna
Half
be in
the beginning,
Vegas
half the end.
getting bottle service. Be like, yo, how'd you afford this whole bottle? Like, you don't want to know.
The guy in the Philippines that got his dick tattooed, I guess what he wanted the whole
The whole
tip
shebang.
black. Just the tip.
Oh,
Just wanted the
shit.
tip black.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
that's a lot of shading.
That's like some fucking indigenous shit.
He said the guy had to hold it like
No way.
They
he
call
had to
me
hold
Blackhead.
it like this and like that and like pull down the skin and tattoo it like that.
Black skin head.
Fuck. That's worse than getting circumcised.
Yeah.
that's
fuck
probably
that.
right.
Jesus.
I
What
feel
the
like you'd
fuck?
lose all the sensation after that, no? Like after
just-
that, like what do you feel anymore?
I just don't understand why. But then I was thinking, I'm like, maybe he goes around telling girls like, "Oh, I'm black,
Oh,
I'm
what?
black from the waist down." And then they're like, "Oh, really?" And he pulls down his pants. He's like, "Yeah, look."
I'm a fourth black.
This is the only thing I can think of why you would do that.
Hey yo, that deserves a hey yo.
So he can numb it and go for like 4 hours because he don't feel anything anymore.
Damn, that's fucking wild.
Like our other artist, she's a female, so I was asking her how much she would charge. She thought I was asking how much would somebody have to pay you to suck a dick, not tattoo. So she thought I asked that, and she was like, "Well, shit, depends who it is. I might just do it for free."
Oh, we're tattooing. Oh, okay.
I get that.
Damn. But you know, it's funny. You're like, I'll do it for $10K. I was like, well, there goes my chance of doing $100K now. Now someone's like, oh, we'll do it for cheaper. Now I gotta go $5K.
Gotta hold that a little bit.
Bidding war over here. I was like, you know what? You can do it.
Yeah, maybe like 10 grand. I'd do that, but it has to be cash up front beforehand. Yeah. You know.
I like those terms. That's very reasonable.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
These are the things that we talk about in the tattoo shop.
Hey, if I find someone, can I get commission?
It's me.
A little finder's fee.
We'll make it 12. We'll make it 12. You keep the 10. I'll keep the 2.
So you're gonna have to pay me for bringing me somebody that wants that.
I will make it 14.
Yeah. 14.
The referral program.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Dick referral program.
I hope to God I never get that person.
Yeah.
We have a
If you
SIM
do-
card
If you do, you got to come on the podcast again and talk about it.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know.
with pictures.
Pictures. That was my second question to Mark. Was like, was it big though? Like, how big was it? He's like, I don't know. I didn't look. I'm like, well, dude, it's a big question. You
That
know?
too.
The guy wanted the whole Genesis painting on it, and you're like, you don't have enough real estate, man. It's not.
Want this like complex tribal pattern on it. Can't do all that, bro. Maybe a happy face.
Spearheads on the shaft.
Oh, dang.
It's wild.
It's indigenous.
There's women out there that get their significant others tattooed on the outside.
I've seen pictures. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've met somebody
On
that
Twitter.
has that.
On X.
Makes more sense now that it's called X, huh?
Yeah.
I met somebody that has that. I didn't see it, but she told me about it.
The craziest tattoo I've seen is that in between this chick's legs, there's like in her thigh, she had a ruler. And it said like, must be this tall to ride.
You saw it in person?
No, I was in a picture.
I was gonna
Damn,
say, did
it would have been badass if I saw it in person.
Were you tall enough to ride?
Yeah, it would have been intimidating.
She's like, no, you go to Camp Snoopy. Damn it.
Toontown it is.
Yeah.
The booty
Where's the
hole.
dude
You call that
inside?
Toontown? What the fuck?
Shit. All right, we're hitting that 2-hour mark. Neek, thanks for coming on. Before we wrap up, I did want to bring up Filipino cryptids because that's one of my fucking favorite topics when it comes to Filipino culture. So we'll just go around and talk about our favorite ones. Mine, straight up, dude, I can't fucking get rid of aswangs, man. I feel like I saw a documentary on that recently, and it just brought back all the fucking vibes of that shit. And do you guys remember that Filipino show called Shake, Rattle, and Roll?
Yes.
It's like horror, right? You guys remember that shit?
You remember Okatoka?
Yeah, Okatoka, yeah.
Which was just backwards for Takot Ako.
Fucking Filipinos and saying that shit backwards. But yeah, I think I remember a bit on the swang on one of those shows, and that shit fucking trips me out. Scary stuff.
Do you
What
mean
about you
like,
guys?
do you mean like if we've had an experience with like some type of Filipino?
I mean, that would be better if you guys have had any.
So I never personally experienced it, but my cousin who went to our Lola's house before, so he said he went to use the restroom and he saw.
Is it in the Philippines?
It's in the Philippines.
Okay.
So he went to the restroom downstairs, and he saw a girl like playing the piano. But he thought it was just like, what the fuck's our little cousin playing the piano so late at night? Like, whatever. So he went to the restroom, went back upstairs, and then he told like our aunt, like, hey, why was I forgot which cousin, but let's just say Kyle was the cousin. Why was she playing the piano so late? Oh, you saw her. That's not Kyle. That's
Oh God.
So it's like, it's just like normalized. Like my aunt's just seeing her and just like, all right, well,
that's the girl.
That's the girl that haunts us. Because where my family lives in the Philippines on my dad's side, it's like a multi-family unit. So it's like a big ass house, but like 4 units. So, but kind of all, some of them are interconnected. I don't know. But yeah, it was just I guess that plot of land has been known for spooky shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and also and that same cousin, he was playing in the yard or something, and I guess there's like little mounds of dirt where like trolls live or something, like
duendes or whatever.
Duendes. Yeah. So he stepped on it, and fucked up their house. And he said, like, immediately the next day, like, he was, like, fucking sick, like, high-ass fever, all this shit. So they had to get, like, a witch doctor to, like, get the duende, like, from, like, the curse off of him or whatever. And he said after the witch doctor left, like, a few hours later, he was, like, so much better. Like, he was, like, after his experience and him, like, seeing, like, his eyes and telling that story when we were younger, I was like, man, fuck that shit. So when I went to my parents' my Lola's house, like, I did not fucking go out like at night. And I saw like dirt. I didn't fuck around the dirt. I just played basketball on the cement street.
I think it's tabi-tabi, not the duende, because when you the tabi-tabi is like when you're in the forest or something and you see a mound of dirt, you have to say.
You have to say, excuse me, like
find the pot or right?
Yeah.
See, like tabi-tabi po, and then so that you don't get sick or something.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
What are they, Nick? Are they like kind of like fairies, right?
I don't think so. I think they are like little trolls. Hold on.
Jeez.
Let me see. It's
because there's copperas too, right? There's fucking giants and shit too.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they are, but I think my mom was telling me about it. If you see a mound in the forest, you have to say tabi tabi po, so you don't get, bad luck, bad juju.
Damn. Yeah, fucking witchcraft and like mangkukulam shit is fucking really big in the Philippines and spells. So, yeah, do you have any personal experiences with any of these fucking white ladies and shit?
I have.
I have a lot of personal experience with white ladies.
White lady, black lady. Yeah, no, I've had those in the Philippines because.
For real? Like,
yeah, no.
Ghost wise, not people.
No, yeah. So I remember because I had just moved to the Philippines, so obviously the American and my friends in the street were kind of just warning me. Like I remember we were riding our bikes and we're going down like this dark area and they're saying just stay close. And there's always this house that we would always see that was like no one's there, right? And they would always stop by and say, take a look over here, and then they would just tell stories, right? And I remember I'm like getting goosebumps talking about this again, but I remember looking through the window and I just see like a black shadowy figure, and it looks like it turns around and just starts walking towards the window. And then I remember they were just saying, black lady. And I was like, what? And then we all started biking away. And I was just like, in my head, I was like, was it a black lady or what? And they were explaining to me, like, no, it's an evil ghost. And, she comes for kids. Like, she'll eat you and things like that. I was like, what the fuck? And I remember at the time, I was like, that's racist. Why are you scared of a black lady? But really, the window, like, it didn't have any curtains, had nothing. Like, you could see through the house, you could see a wall and things like that, but you could see this person's figure and like kind of just like it was a side profile, then it turns around and it just starts walking or like gliding towards the window. And the moment that happened, everyone started screaming, biked away, and then that was it. So I was already scared. I'm like, I'm not hanging out with my friends late at night anymore. That's what my parents were warning me about. It's like, stop going out late at night. You're going to see things. I was like, whatever, dude. My shelter does. And so another night, we're hanging out in my neighbor's jeepney because he's a jeepney driver, and we would just hang out in there. And all the kids were known to just hang out and sit in there, right? And it was parked next to this tree, just tall, like, fucking eerie looking tree, right? And then I remember just stepping out because I'm like, I'm gonna go home. Like I'm over it. I want to go home. And I remember kind of I look up the tree. I don't know why. I just looked up at it and I just see like a white figure just looking down. And I was like, oh shit. And I just remember running home. And then they were like laughing at me. They're like, what the hell happened? And the next day I told them I saw this and that, and they were just laughing at me. I was like, dude, no, I saw that shit. And I don't know what it is about like third world countries and shit, but
they're prevalent there, right?
Yeah, right. And it was scary. And those were the only really 2 instances I had. I lived in a haunted house here, and that was scary. But yeah, so as far as cryptids go, I'll go with the Manananggal. That one's
it's fucking like their half bodies come off, right?
Yeah.
like a vampire kind of.
Yeah.
They eat babies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
I did have one at my tita's house in Bacolod. So I get sleep paralysis a lot. So like when we stayed there for the first time, they have it's like a compound basically, right? They have like 4 houses on the same street, and so one of the houses we stay in, it's an old house. And the first night that we were there, I was getting sleep paralysis, and then I remember like in my dream standing in the room that we were sleeping in, and there was like a circle of people around me, but I couldn't move, and I was facing this thing. It was just slimy black, like figure, and there were no like features that I could tell, and I was falling asleep in my dream, and I just remember feeling like if I fall asleep, I'm not gonna wake up, and so I just kept telling it, I'm not afraid of you, I'm not afraid of you, I'm not afraid of you. And then when I came back to the States, I was getting sleep paralysis again in my bedroom. And I was trying to wake myself up, and like right before I got up, I just get this like flash of an image of that same black slimy like figure just hovering over me. It freaked me out. So it like came back with me to the States. I was trying to get like papers or something, dude. Like
green card, Paul. Green card.
Green card, man.
At that same time when I experienced that sleep paralysis in the Philippines, in that same dream, I was walking around the house, and I went to the laundry area, and there was this woman, and she was covered in water. She was wet. And she was saying that she wanted to harm my pops. And then the whole time that we were there at my aunt's house, like my pops was feeling heartburn. He wasn't feeling good. But then when we left the house, we went to the next island over that we needed to visit. He was fine. So it was weird.
Yes.
Creepy. Sleep paralysis is fucking scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it happened. I was getting it last night, dude. I had sleep paralysis last night. It was freaky.
Oh,
yeah,
it's crazy.
I would get There was a couple times where I would get this little breeze over my arm, and then just like chills, but I couldn't move. It happens to me fairly often. So
we had this dude on the podcast. He wrote this book on outer body experiences and astral projection, and he has like this whole technique of astral projecting, and he says that state of being in sleep paralysis is like the fundamental state in order to astral project. So it might be like a in between kind of state between like this realm and the next realm. You know what I mean? That's fucking scary because you are lifeless. I feel like a part of the experience of, you sweating and you breathing hard is you trying to move, but you're just kind of stuck. You know what I mean? It's almost that experience or that feeling of you're trying to run in your dreams, but you can't go anywhere, but you're sprinting,
Yeah, it's like I can't move, but then I know I kind of learned because it started happening so often that I learned that if I just start trying to say go away, and then slowly I'll be able to start moving. It'll kind of like,
Wow. It kind of like calms you down and empowers you.
Yeah, but I think it's also just sometimes I feel like there's something in there with me, and so if I just tell it to leave, like it'll go away.
Yeah. I've learned to just practice my breathing when I'm in that state, just because when you're in that, you're just like, and you feel like you're having a shortness of breath, and you feel like you're gonna die because you're suffocating. I've learned to just like take deeper breaths, just because you can't move your body, so try and control the breathing. And when I try to get myself in that thought process, I tend to get out of it fairly quickly. So maybe it's just a matter of just calming yourself down. That's why you're so in that state of shock, and you're like, I can't get out.
It sucks though, because you're like scared to. At least for me, I'm like scared to fall asleep while that's happening.
Yeah.
But then also, I'm so tired, I want to fall asleep. But every time I try to fall asleep, I get sleep paralysis. So
Yeah.
All right, just to wrap this up, I mean, like, we're all Filipino here, and I feel like I'm going to assume that we all were kind of raised to think that these things are real. Do you guys think these things are real?
Yes.
Swans and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's
With
so
my
scary,
experience, I had the experience, and like Francis said, his cousin had the experience, and that shit's real to me. And I know there's people who doubt the shit out of it, but it's easy to doubt it. And then when it happens to you, what are you gonna say?
Right.
And I feel like the Philippines late at night is like just late at night is like a cesspool of something waiting to happen to you if you're not in the right area.
Fucking weird. I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe this could be another topic for the next podcast, but like where the like spirituality and like witchcraft kind of stemmed into the Philippine culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they kind of have their own voodoo culture too.
Yeah.
Well, that's
definitely
pre-colonial, I guess I would say, religion. It wasn't really religion, it's animism, right? So, but it's only labeled witchcraft after Spaniards came with Catholicism, but that's before colonization. That's what we believed in, so.
Yeah, and like, I think we could talk about this too on the next one, but it's about like how they, the World's Fair and how they had different like ethnicities there, and they definitely took Filipinos, and I was just reading about this and how they had them at the World's Fair and had them like reenact things they would do at home, and people would be like, they're doing witchcraft and things like that.
Yeah.
So
for real?
Yeah. So at the World's Fair, like Filipinos were in there, and like
human zoos, right?
Yeah, the human zoos at the World's Fair, and just like them like throwing food at the kids, like their animals. It was pretty shitty time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they showed where the Filipinos were kind of like in their traditional outfits and stuff, and they were fooled that they were bringing them there for a new set of life, but they didn't know that they were just being there for a zoo. And they were making them reenact like, oh, you guys do this, go do it, so they can see what you guys do in your country, kind of thing.
Shit. Well, Dan, this took a fucking dark turn. Nick, where can we find you? Nick, where can we find you on social media?
Sorry,
Besides,
I didn't hear that part.
I got this part, right? Do you have a website we could link at too?
Yeah, it's culturatattoo.art. You can, book appointments to there. You can see all the artists' work. But other than that, you can always find me on Instagram at NickNIQ_culturatattoo. Hit me up if you guys are looking for tribal, Japanese. I could do black and gray realism as well. But I definitely would love to get some more Japanese and tribal clients in. Those are always fun to do. So.
And she'll do your dick for $10K.
Yeah, 10K.
You heard it here first. Use promo code K4V3.
She just straight up undercutted my market. I was like, 100K, 10K.
So yeah, just hit me up if you guys need tattoos.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's welcome.
I know where to go.
Hell yeah. All right. That was another episode. If you want to talk more cryptids, culture, or just talk shit, join the Discord website. Should have the link. That's cave.com, K4V3.com. Mabuhay. Later, everyone. Peace out.
Salamat.
Salamat po.